Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Stacy. I am the Palladian Awakener. So today let's talk about on a high level what is happening in the skies in 2024 for each and every one of us. What energies are these larger, slower moving planets doing to help us and how we can utilize these energies for our highest good. So for this video in particular, I'm going to focus on those larger, slower moving planets. So Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Now I do have separate videos made on my YouTube channel. I'll be sure to link to them in the description box below. So if you want to dive into more information, for example, what does it mean Pluto moving through Aquarius, or Jupiter moving through Taurus, or Uranus moving through Taurus, Saturn moving through Pisces, or Neptune moving through Pisces, you can definitely check out those videos. I dive into a lot more detail than what I'm going to do today. So today I'm just going to kind of give us a high level summary of what could be coming down the pipe for us, and I'm going to focus on 2024 in particular. So during my monthly videos, I'll continue to focus on, where the sun is shining a spotlight in your chart. I also cover off the new moons, the full moons, where Mercury, Venus, and Mars are currently transiting in your chart as well. So I'll definitely continue with those monthlies, and then this is just a high level overview of the year ahead. So some things to note before I dive into every single sign. These are general readings. So I use the whole sign house system. I use Western tropical astrology. So this might not resonate with each and every one of you because first of all, it depends on what astrology chart system you prefer. And also I don't have your birth chart in front of me. So I am just using the whole sign house system to assume if you're watching for your ascendant, that will probably resonate the most with you. And then of course you can certainly watch for your sun sign as well, but you can absolutely watch for any planet placement point that suits you, and you can draw all this energy together for you. Absolutely, you can do that. So if you'd like a personal reading tailored just to you, for you, all about you, you can get in touch with me on my website, and I'll be sure to put the link to that in the description box below. So let's dive into all the signs here and see what is coming up for us in 2024. Hi Aries, so let's talk about 2024 and let's see where the focused, concentrated energies are going to be coming down the pipe for you in 2024. Now keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave the rest. And again, I do not have your birth chart in front of me, so I am just assuming that you are watching for your sun sign or your rising sign with this video. So let's start with Jupiter and Uranus. So Jupiter and Uranus are currently down in your second house of Taurus. This is your house of money, earnings, how you earn a living on a day-to-day basis. And this is also your value system as well, and this also includes your material possessions. So starting with Jupiter, wherever Jupiter goes, Jupiter expands on anything he touches, and he also bestows blessings on us as well. So being in your income sector, Aries, this is absolutely phenomenal, absolutely incredible for you. You are definitely one of the lucky signs this year. So take advantage of this energy because this is definitely going to expand your earned income coming towards you. And this again started last year, and it's going to continue until middle of this year, May, and then Jupiter will move on to Gemini. So Uranus now has been in this house though since 2018. Now wherever Uranus goes, Uranus shakes up this house. It's sort of Uranus's purpose is to wake us up, and also sometimes these heavy hitter planets, so Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, represent external circumstances that we cannot control. But what happens is sometimes these larger planets represent the collective, and then something impacts us personally, and that's when we have to pivot, move, change, whatever the case may be. Now, Uranus is the planet of the unpredictable. Uranus is not a bad planet or a good planet. Uranus is neutral. Uranus just comes in and says, okay, I'm going to shake up your second house here of money, of work, of finances, of income, of material possessions, and I want to see you get creative on how you earn a living. And do you need all of these material possessions? And also Uranus is asking you about your values. Like maybe it's time to shake up and change your value system at this time as well, Aries. And again, if you have anything that Uranus is aspecting, that's going to add another layer to this conversation, to change, like how Uranus is asking you to change, pivot, move, whatever the case may be. So the good news is Jupiter is going to wrap up his stay in your second house in May and move into Gemini. So this energy is actually going to be making opportunity aspects to you, Aries, beginning May of this year until May approximately of next year. So Jupiter in the third house can expand on your relationships, which is really nice, with siblings, cousins, neighbors, extended family members. This is about your immediate community. So Jupiter is going to help improve your relationships with these people that are around you at this time, which is a huge blessing. So if you've had any challenges with neighbors or relatives or extended family members, or maybe some issues as a whole in your community, those things should naturally start to get better at this time. Jupiter is also going to expand travel for you, because I see Jupiter also rules your ninth house. So Jupiter is going to expand short distance traveling, long distance traveling. So that will definitely pick up starting middle of the year and onward into 2025 for that matter. Jupiter here is also going to expand your learning. These are the houses of education. So this could be either you going back to school, or doing some upgrading or training or retraining, or this could be you, Aries, becoming the mentor, becoming the coach, becoming the elder who's going to pass down their knowledge and wisdom on to the next generation. Or again, maybe you could become a teacher during this time, and you're going to be the one standing up in front of the class and teaching again your wisdom or your craft or whatever the case may be. So possibilities are a lot during Jupiter's stay through Gemini. And again, Jupiter's going to be making opportunity aspects to whatever you're watching for right now in Aries, among other things in your chart. So that's going to amp up the opportunity and again, bring in another layer of blessings, support, opportunities, changes, challenges, again, depending on how Jupiter is talking to your other planets, points, placements in your chart at this time. All right, so let's move on to your Pisces house, because this is really interesting with Saturn and Neptune in this house. I'm kind of laughing here because like Saturn and Neptune, this is such an interesting combination, because Saturn is all about boundaries and structures, and Saturn rules the bones, the structures of the body. Saturn rules like buildings and city skyscrapers and apartment buildings and anything with a structure and a foundation. That's Saturn. That sort of represents Saturn. Neptune dissolves anything it touches. So here we have the planet of structure and boundaries and material things coming together in a sign where it has no boundaries. Pisces has no boundaries. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. Those planets don't have boundaries. They're big gassy planets. They float. I don't even know if they must have a core somewhere, but they're all filled with gas and dust and things blown around, right? So this could be a really push-pull mentality. If you're feeling this already, Aries, and again, being in the 12th house, this is hidden, this is more so psychological. But as I mentioned, these outer planets can bring circumstances into our lives that we have to change and pivot and move and things like that. But this can be frustrating. I'm not going to lie, for all of us. This isn't just you, but for all of us, Aries, because again, Neptune's like, well, Neptune is saying to Saturn, okay, you want to build that skyscraper. Well, let's soften the lines a little bit. Let's look at this from a different perspective. Let's look through a different lens. Let's put our rose-colored glasses on. Let's have a whiskey and let's have a cigarette. And then we'll talk about it. That's Neptune. And then Saturn's like the sergeant. Saturn's like, okay, we want you to work hard. Saturn's about karma, lessons, like let's get going, let's build our future, you know? So one positive thing about this, Aries, that I highly recommend, you don't have to, but I highly recommend is, first of all, bring in, if you haven't already done so, bring in spirituality into your life. I feel like some of you probably have already touched on this a little bit in 2012 when Neptune popped into Pisces. That's when the whole collective, I feel like, dived more into, they were more open to spirituality, metaphysical, things like that. So this is asking you, this transit of Neptune is asking you to bring in more spirituality into your life. If you haven't already, you know, if you've already done that, perfect. That's incredible. Now Saturn's in here asking you to crystallize it. Crystallize your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your entrepreneurial goals. Whether you own a business, run a business, are an entrepreneur, or you work for someone, whatever it is, bring whatever it is that you've been dreaming about into form. This is your opportunity to do that. Now, do you have to do that? No, absolutely not, because this can manifest in other ways, absolutely. But I'm just seeing this crystal clear for you. Bring it down from the ethers, bring it out of the mind and into reality, to create the life that you want and that you ultimately desire, Aries. That's the opportunity here for you. Now, again, these planets are slow moving. Jupiter is the fastest one. Jupiter goes through a sign a year, but I mean, Uranus is like 6 years to go through a sign. Saturn is about 3. Neptune, well, Neptune's been in Pisces since 2012. And then Pluto has a really erratic orbit because he's so far out. Neptune can get like that too, is a little bit too, because he's very far out too. But my point is, you have time. Time is on your side. Don't feel like you have a time limit, like things have to get done this year. No, I'm just saying this is something to start to think about. If there's anything you wanted to do, if there's anything you're working on behind the scenes, Saturn will reward you once Saturn moves out of Pisces into your sign in 2025, 2026. And Saturn is wrapping up a 30-year cycle for you when it comes to career, public reputation, your status out in society, like out in the public eye. This is also possibly something to do with your parents or parental figures or authority figures in your life at this time. Even if you're retired, it's what do you do to put yourself out there? Or what groups, memberships, associations do you surround yourself with? What people do you surround yourself with? Because this also has to do with your friendship circles, friends, groups, associations, humanitarian efforts that you are a part of. This could also be religious groups as well. So Saturn is wrapping this up, and Saturn's going to start a brand new 30-year cycle once Saturn moves into your sign, which I'll be here to talk about it. That's a little ways out yet, but that's really exciting, Aries. Plus, on top of it, you got Neptune moving into your sign too, which is going to be just absolutely incredible. So that's what I suggest for those two planets. And again, anything you're working on the back end, continue to do that. If you are doing that, if you're not, that's okay. Like, it's whatever you're being pulled into at this time, whatever your hopes or wishes or dreams are, bring that into reality, and you have lots of time to do that, Aries. Now, Pluto up in your 11th house of, this is your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, but also, again, your friendship circles, the people that you surround yourself with, humanitarian efforts, if you're involved in any of them, any sort of group that you belong to, and also your role in these groups that you belong to as well. So Pluto, again, this is a 20-year transit, Aries, so I'm going to be talking about this a lot, but in short, Pluto is going to make sure you have true, authentic people around you at this time. Pluto is going to get rid of any group or association or connection you have on a friendship level that doesn't suit your highest good. This also goes for your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. Our goals shift as we move through life. So Pluto, again, is going to make sure you have true, authentic goals that fit your soul's map, that fit your soul's intention, like why you are here, what type of legacy that you are leaving behind at this time. This could also have something to do with shared resources, shared property, inheritances. This could also have something to do with taxes, debts, loans, how you associate with like big banks or big corporate structures is another possibility as well here. So, and again, if I had your chart in front of me, if Pluto's making any other aspects to any other planets, points, placements, that just is going to add another layer of transformation. Because again, Pluto's all about transforming something for your highest good, and Pluto wants to make sure you're being authentic about it. And in your case, to make sure your people circle around you is authentic as well. Now, the North Node, South Node continues to move through Aries and Libra this year, so that's going to continue. Again, this is in your first house, Aries. I talk about this, I feel like, quite a bit in the monthlies with you, and same with Libra. So this is welcoming in something new, but you got to let something go in that Libra house, in that relationship house. So this could be a friendship, again, a group, membership, association that you belong to or associate yourself with. This could be a love relationship, a business partnership, something to do with work, or maybe a contract that you have to let go so you can, again, welcome in something new into your life. Because this is your first house, it really could touch any area of your life, Aries. So this could be your career. This could be your home life. Again, this could be partnership, whether it's love, business, work, or friendship, or it could even be marriage, Aries. So these eclipses are going to continue. We have 4 eclipses this year. We have 2 in Libra at that South Node. So March 25th, October 2nd. I'll be here to talk about it. I'll do that in the monthlies. And then we have 1 at the Aries North Node on April the 8th. And then we have our first eclipse in Pisces on September the 17th. That's a whole other cycle of eclipses that's going to be coming down the pipe for us in 2025. The cool thing is September 17th and also in October, we're going to get a flavor of what could be occurring in our lives in 2025. That's just the beginning of something brand new. So what else here? And again, I'll talk about that more so in my monthlies, not so much in this video here. Venus doesn't turn retrograde this year. Mars does. I'm going to talk about that later on in the year because Mars doesn't turn retrograde until December. And then Mercury retrogrades in the fire signs this year. That's going to be really interesting, Aries. So we have 3 retrogrades this year. The first retrograde happens in your sign in the month of April. You might want to take note of that because, again, Mercury is going to be going back and forth, whatever you have in Aries, and Mercury is going to be working out the kinks from a communication standpoint, back and forth, back and forth. Our second Mercury retrograde is going to happen in Leo and in Virgo, and that happens in August. And then mid-November to mid-December, we have our final one in Sagittarius, which is probably going to bring in some travel disruptions for you in particular, but also as a globe, as a collective, I should say, because this is happening in the sign of Sagittarius. So, but I'll talk about that later on. You know, we got a long ways to go yet, I guess, depending on when you're watching this right now in 2024. But otherwise, enjoy your year ahead, Aries, and I'll see you back here in the monthlies, and enjoy your year ahead. Bye for now. Hey Taurus, let's talk about the energies that are coming down the pipe for you in 2024. So let's start with all that energy in your sign. So you have Uranus, who's been here since 2018, and then we have Jupiter that's been here since last May. So let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter is the quicker moving planet of all the big heavy hitters in the sky. He spends 1 year in each and every sign. So wherever Jupiter goes, Taurus, he bestows blessings to each and every one of us. So he makes our lives a little bit easier. Now, Jupiter likes to expand, though, anything he touches. So he also likes, makes us feel really good, really jovial, and we want to indulge and have a good time and have good food and wine and drink and all that fun stuff. So the only downside to Jupiter is we can go overboard. So we can overeat, overdrink, overindulge, overspend, all the good stuff in life, Taurus, which you know all about. So that's the only thing about Jupiter. But all in all, Jupiter should be bestowing blessings to you. This is already halfway through. So you have another 5 months or so of this energy. So please enjoy this energy while Jupiter is in your sign. And again, Taurus, I forgot to mention in the beginning, this is a high-level overview, okay? This is a very general high-level overview. I don't have your personal birth chart in front of me. So as I'm talking about the planets, I don't know if they're making aspects to anything else in your chart. That's going to add another layer to what I'm talking about today. So, and again, it depends on what chart system you prefer, and it depends on what you're watching for. If it's a sun sign, moon sign, ascendant, I'm not sure, a stellium, I don't know. So just keep that in mind that these planets are going to talk to your personal planets in a different way, depending on the aspect. So going back to your sign, let's talk about Uranus. So wherever Uranus goes, Uranus wants to shake you out of your comfort zone, wants to shake you up and wake you up. Uranus is not a bad planet and Uranus is not a good planet. Uranus is very neutral, but Uranus is very electrifying. Uranus is all about change and disruption and chaos, you know, and not always in a bad way, Taurus, not always in a bad way. But I mean, you can see how, for example, Uranus being in Taurus, how Uranus is shaking up Mother Earth, for example, because Taurus is an earth sign, and Uranus being in here, he is literally shaking up Mother Earth. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, because they're so far out in our solar system, they technically can represent the collective. They're also generational planets. So there's a whole whack of us who are born within a certain time period that have Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto in the same signs respectively. So Uranus, Neptune, Pluto can sometimes represent external circumstances that we can't control, but they affect us in some way, shape, or form. So we have to move and pivot and roll with it and change our lives based on external circumstances. One thing about Uranus moving through the first house, you'll never be the same. I love this transit in the first house because it wakes up your body. It wakes up your soul's intention, especially Uranus rules your 10th house of career. I have no doubt this has something to do with your day-to-day work or career or status or reputation. This could also be something to do with a mom, dad, authority figure in your life at this time. This also rules bosses as well. So maybe you've had some really eccentric out of this world bosses. That could be a possibility as well. And again, this Uranus has been in here since 2018. You've been experiencing this. So one thing about Uranus I noticed moving through the first house, though, is it can, it wakes up the body, our physical human body, but sometimes it messes with our nervous system. So if you notice you're a little bit more anxious or anxiety about certain things, that's Uranus. So it's okay. This transit will pass. I mean, if it gets that severe, definitely seek medical attention. That's just something I noticed with Uranus in the first house, which is awesome. But it's sometimes like it's a little bit too much for our nervous system with Uranus moving through moving through Taurus, especially a fixed sign like yourself. Doesn't like to be shooken up, doesn't like to change too easily. So again, be mindful of that. If you've wondered why your nerves are a little bit on overdrive, that's probably why. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not pretending to be a doctor. This is just based on my personal experience, actually, when Uranus transited my ascendant, my first house, but also from what I've heard and noticed from other people as well when Uranus transited their true first house. So anyway, let's see here. Let's talk about your Pisces house. So this is where you have Saturn and Neptune. This is a really interesting energy. So we have Saturn, the planet of rules and obligations and duty and restriction and karma and lessons and tests and boundaries. You know, that's why he's got that little ring around. Well, I shouldn't say little. I mean, Saturn's massive, but anyway, he's got the ring, like structures, boundaries. It's like Saturn teaches us boundaries. Not a bad thing. Hard work is not going to kill us, right, Taurus? You out of all people should know that, being a fixed earth sign. And then you got Neptune. Neptune comes along and says to Saturn, okay, that's great that you want to build this and build that and blah, blah, blah. How about let's soften the corners, let's soften things a little bit, let's blur the lines, let's look at this from a different perspective. Let's put some rose-colored glasses on. Let's have a cocktail or 2 or 3 and have a cigarette, and then let's talk about it. That's Neptune. So you might have this push-pull mentality when it comes to your friendship circles, when it comes to people that you surround yourself with, when it comes to groups, humanitarian efforts, associations, whatever it is that you belong to or that you associate with. This also represents your role in these groups as well. This is also the house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, and your long-term goals. So if you're ever frustrated or you feel like this push-pull, like you want to get something done and you have it clear in your mind, and then suddenly you're like, well, do I really want to do that though? This friend doesn't support me, or that person thinks that I shouldn't do it, or that person this or that. If you come across that just know that's Saturn and Neptune working, trying to work this out for you. You know, but I can appreciate it can be frustrating. You know, Saturn is in Neptune's house, and technically Saturn's more powerful than Saturn because Neptune is further out. But I'm not going to discredit Saturn, because without Saturn, we wouldn't have bones and structures in our bodies. We wouldn't have houses to build. We wouldn't have big fancy skyscrapers and offices and things like that. So I don't want to discredit Saturn, but both of them are quite opposite, you know. But at the end of the day, Taurus, at the end of the day, these planets are working for you. Saturn's going to make sure you surround yourself with good people that support you, that lift you up. Saturn is also going to make sure you put your boundaries up too, Taurus. If you're one of those people where you're stuck doing everything in your friendship circles, that's going to stop. That's going to stop. Saturn is giving you permission to stop that in the next 2 years. Because again, these planets are going to be with us for quite some time. Saturn is the, let me just think here. So Saturn is going to be moving out of this sign 2025, 2026, and same with Neptune. So you have time. But just know if you're getting frustrated with certain things, or if you feel like you're being taken advantage of, Saturn's going to help you to put up those boundaries. And there's nothing wrong with saying no, Taurus. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. But I get it. This kind of stuff doesn't happen overnight. So you will move at your own pace and you will find your groove. That's absolutely what this is all about. Now, Pluto in your 10th house of Aquarius, this is your house of career, status, public reputation. This is anything you do out in the working world. This also represents authority figures in your life. So bosses, mom, dad, authority figures, or if you were raised by, you know, grandparents, aunts, uncles, elders, whatever the case may be. So Pluto is going to make sure that you have a career Taurus, that is true and authentic to you, which is beautiful. And this is, again, a really long transit. This is 20 years, Taurus, so this isn't going to happen overnight. But Pluto is here to help you, basically. Whatever planets, points, placements you're watching for in Taurus, Pluto is going to be aspecting them in a square, in a challenging way, but there's a purpose behind that. And again, it's always for your greatest good. Pluto wants you to transform. Pluto wants you to elevate to your highest good. Pluto is going to make you extremely powerful when it comes to anything to do with out in the public eye, public status, reputation. Again, your career. This is your career house, Taurus. So this is going to make you a powerhouse, a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely. And again, if you're retired, that doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. I encourage you to still put yourself out there. Volunteer, help other people, pass down knowledge, pass down your skill set, whatever the case may be. Because again, this is leaving a legacy, and Pluto is a powerhouse. Wherever Pluto goes, it's going to leave a mark, not only on you, but on your community, your society, the society you belong to, or the community you belong to, and your career. This is like leaving behind a huge legacy. This is also the potential, Taurus, of moving up the ranks. Like if you ever wanted to be a CEO or own your own business, or be the boss, or create a new business, or entrepreneurship, this is the transit to do it. But again, it's slow, it's 20 years, nothing to panic about, and I'll be here to talk about it year after year. And of course, as Pluto makes any special aspects, I'll be here to talk about it as well. So for example, we're going to have an incredible Pluto trine Jupiter in Gemini. I forget exactly when that's going to happen, but let me just think here. Well, it's got to be May timeframe. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, I'll talk about it closer to the date. But that's just an example of some of the stuff I'll talk about in my monthlies. But again, to give you a sneak peek, this is highlighting your money, your work, what you do on a day-to-day level, and also your values and material possessions. And this is a trine, Taurus. This is a trine. This is not a square. So this is flowing, harmonious power coming from your 10th house down into your money finances house. So that's just a sneak peek of some of the stuff that is coming up, not only in 2024, but again, beyond. Like wait till Pluto trines Uranus in your 2nd house. Like, wow. I cannot wait to talk about this kind of stuff. But again, I don't want to rush time. That's quite a ways out from now, because Uranus doesn't pop out of your sign until like 2026. So we have a ways to go. But anyway, moving on here. The eclipses are going to continue to move along the Aries Libra axis for you, Taurus. So that isn't changed. That started last year. It's going to continue into this year. So we have 4 eclipses this year. We have 2 in Libra. So March 25th and October the 2nd. And then we have 1 in Aries on April the 8th. And then we have an eclipse in Pisces on September the 17th, which is really interesting because the nodes of the moon haven't even moved in there yet. So this is going to give us a sneak peek as to what's coming down the pipe for us and you in 2025. So again, I'll talk about it. I'll make a separate video about the nodes, and you can check that out when the time comes. But again, I'll be talking about it in my monthlies as well, especially the eclipses. Venus doesn't go retrograde this year. Hallelujah. Mars does go retrograde, but not until the end of 2024. I'll make a separate video about that. And again, I'll talk about that later on in the year. So nothing to worry about right now. And then the Mercury retrogrades this year are happening in the fire signs. Last year, it was the earth sign. So you would have been impacted when Mercury went retrograde in Taurus, for example, or again, any other planets, placements, points in your personal birth chart. But this year, the fire signs are being impacted. It doesn't mean you're not going to be impacted, because again, the fire signs represent different houses for you. So as you can see, Leo is your 4th house, Sagittarius is your 8th house, Aries is your 12th house. And again, if you have planets, placements, points in these houses, you will be impacted, but you'll feel this the most. So we have our first Mercury retrograde in Aries in April. The next one is August. This one is Virgo and Leo. And the final one is in Sagittarius, and this is happening mid-November to mid-December, which is going to kind of wreak a little bit of havoc on our travel plans around the holiday season. But again, we'll talk about that later on. But this is what I love about astrology, because then this kind of stuff can help prepare you for the holiday season, and that there could be some delays, disruptions. Make sure you get to the airport on time, blah, blah, blah. Maybe have a second plan in motion, plan B or whatever. Anyway, Taurus, that is about it for a high-level overview of your 2024. We will talk to you again in the monthly horoscope. So have a wonderful year ahead, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your 2024 year ahead forecast. So just to remind you, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. I do not have your personal birth chart in front of me, so I cannot make those connections if any of these heavy hitting planets are making any other aspects or conjunctions to anything in your personal birth chart. But what I can talk about today is the energy that's being infused in different aspects of your life. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's start with your 12th house of Taurus. You have Uranus and Jupiter in there. Now, when I was preparing for your video, these videos in general, Gemini, when I came to your sign, I heard paranormal. And you know what? That is 100% bang on. If you have not had a paranormal experience, Gemini, since 2018, I'd be surprised. And I'm not saying, you should be able to see dead people by now. This is like signs. This is synchronicity. This is things falling into place out of nowhere. And you're like, wow, that was easy. Or being in the right place at the right time. Some of you could be getting downloads. I mean, absolutely. Like Uranus rules your 9th house. That is the house of the gods. So, I mean, if there's any downloads that you've been getting, don't ignore them, Gemini. I hope you haven't been ignoring them, because they're coming in for a purpose. So this is actually a really incredible transit with Uranus in your 12th house, waking up your subconscious mind. This is also preparing you, Gemini, like for a huge cycle ahead for you. Not only Jupiter popping into your sign this year, but Uranus is going to be coming into your sign in 2026, and it's going to be making a trine to Pluto at some point. This is off the charts exciting for you. I'm so excited for you. I can feel the goosebumps going up my arm for you. This is something to be fired up about if you're not already excited about it. So, the only thing with Uranus in here though is it probably has disrupted your sleep, maybe caused anxiety at some times. It wakes up your nervous system in a good way, but sometimes in a not so good way. This kickstarts your metabolism, your body wakes up, but I mean, it's like, ooh, okay. It's like enough is enough, Uranus. So, but at the end of the day, this is a quieter house for you. So sometimes manifestation is not obvious, but like I said, with Uranus in here and Jupiter, watch out for those signs, synchronicities, symbols, things coming together, things happening out of nowhere, things coming out of nowhere, blessings coming out of nowhere. With Jupiter here, that's just going to amp up the energy here in this 12th house. Anything that you're working on behind the scenes, keep doing what you're doing. Because again, once Jupiter pops into your sign, that's a great opportunity to bring it to light. Or if it's a longer project, or maybe you're trying to do a startup company or get into sciences or, well, again, metaphysical stuff, this is ramping up to when, again, Uranus hits your first house. This is going to be off the charts, incredible for you, Gemini. Now, let's talk about your 10th house here of Pisces. You have Saturn and Neptune in this house. I'm going to be honest, this is not the easiest energy. I think you probably know that by now. So Saturn and Neptune are going to be making squares to your Gemini planets, placements, points at some point. Neptune might have already done this, depending on, again, what you're watching for and where it's placed in your chart. But Saturn is all about structure, bringing things into reality, crystallizing your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, in this case, your career. Saturn wants hard work out of you. Saturn wants you to put in the work. But if you work with Saturn, Saturn will bring you great rewards. Like Saturn is setting you up technically for the next 30 years of your career cycle. This could also have something to do with bosses, authority figures in your life. This could also represent mom, dad, or whoever raised you, an elder, could also represent them as well. So that's Saturn wanting to put up structures, make you have boundaries when it comes to the workplace or in your business if you own a business. Now, Neptune comes along and Neptune's like, okay, that's great. You want to build that skyscraper, but let's soften the edges a little bit. Let's look at this through a different lens. Let's put on our rose-colored glasses. Let's have a drink or two or three and have a cigarette. And then let's talk about it. So completely different energies. Like Neptune dissolves, Saturn builds. Neptune dissolves, Saturn builds. If you ever feel like that push-pull mentality in your 10th house of career, or if you've ever had a boss like that, you know what I'm talking about. You're already feeling this like black and white, yin and yang energy, this constant pull back and forth. So that is going to continue. There is a reason for that, Gemini. First of all, Neptune is asking you to bring some spirituality into your life, into your career, into whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis. Neptune is asking you to do that. And then, you know, I just thought of this, you know, Neptune making sextiles to Uranus, that just amps up the paranormal and the spirituality and all the woo-woo stuff and metaphysical. If you work in the metaphysical realm or practice in it, oh my goodness, keep doing it. Like keep doing what you're doing. Because if you're being drawn to that career or a business startup or anything like that, keep following that hunch. There's a purpose for that. Because I can see Neptune doing that in your career, because Neptune can be very confusing in the 10th house, but continue to follow your intuition when it comes to your career matters, and pay attention to downloads, like I mentioned too. So Saturn's in here to help you build something new. Like I said, Saturn's setting you up for a 30-year cycle. If you work with Saturn, Saturn's going to bring the rewards bigger than Jupiter. Because Saturn sets you up for the test of time, for the long term. Jupiter is just temporary, you know. Yes, Jupiter is a big gassy planet. He's the big god of the universe, or our universe, I guess I should say. But Jupiter is, you know, can be small blessings here, there, and everywhere. Saturn sets you up for life, basically. Now, Pluto moving through your 9th house, this is a 20-year transit. So we have a lot of time to talk about that. So Pluto is going to bring you really interesting experiences when it comes to anything to do with international matters, different cultures, hanging out with different people from different cultures, different backgrounds, people that you normally wouldn't hang out with. This could bring some really incredible transformational travel into your life, more so long distance. It could be short distance, but more so long distance. This is, again, Pluto's going to help you transform your day-to-day work, duty, responsibility, Pluto's going to help you also transform your health and well-being and your diet as well. You could also welcome in a pet into your life. Again, this is a 20-year cycle, but you could really, your life could change having a pet or owning a pet is what I'm trying to get at. So definitely something to consider if you've been considering it. So these are just some examples, Gemini. And again, once Pluto makes these incredible aspects to Jupiter, once Jupiter pops into your sign, I think Pluto trines Jupiter in May, I believe, which is phenomenal. This is like a brand new beginning. And again, Pluto is transiting the house of the gods. So yeah, be prepared for blessings, downloads, opportunity to travel, opportunity to teach. This is another thing. Pluto's in the house of higher education and teaching. So you could go back to school, or it could be you becoming the teacher or the elder and transferring your skills onto someone else or the next generation for that matter. What else here? What else here? I think I forgot to talk about Jupiter in your first house. So Jupiter in your first house, Jupiter is going to move into your sign in May of this year. Now, wherever Jupiter goes, he expands and pours blessings into your life, Gemini. So again, be prepared. People always love it when Jupiter transits their sign. It only comes around every 12 years. So take advantage of this. All in all, you should have a good year ahead. I'm saying should because I don't know what you're watching for. I don't know what your chart looks like. But all in all, when Jupiter conjuncts your sun, that's technically the luckiest day of the year. When Jupiter conjuncts your ascendant, again, that's blessings coming in from all angles, all areas of your life. So your career is definitely going to be impacted in a good, blessed way. Also, your relationships are going to be blessed as well. And when I say relationships, this could be business, work, or love. And home, family, foundation could be impacted as well by this transit in a positive way. So Gemini, be open to these possibilities. And then in 2024, Jupiter's wrapping up a 12-year cycle. You're going to be starting brand new, fresh, starting in May. So don't let this energy pass you by. Take advantage of opportunities that are coming your way and create the life that you want. This is your opportunity to do that. What else do we have here? So the eclipses are going to continue in Aries and Libra this year. So they moved into these two signs last year. They're going to continue this year, and then the cycle is going to change in 2025. So we have 4 eclipses this year. We have 2 in Libra, March 25th, October 2nd, and then we have 1 in Aries on April the 8th, and then we have our first eclipse in Pisces, which is interesting, happening on the 17th of September. This is going to give us a hint, a breadcrumb of what is coming down the pipe for us in 2025 when it comes to this new eclipse cycle, again, which is happening in that 10th house of career. So yeah, buckle up, Gemini. I think you're going to have a fantabulous year ahead, mainly because of that Jupiter. Jupiter is going to just bestow blessings, and Jupiter will help with those squares that you're currently getting from Saturn and Neptune as well. But again, this too shall pass. Saturn will move along. Neptune's going to move along into Aries. And just think, once these heavy hitters pile into Aries, they're going to start bringing more opportunity to your doorstep to take advantage of. So hang in there, Gemini. You're going to be just fine. I think you're going to have a fantastic 2024 ahead. So let me see here. Oh, the Mercury retrogrades, I forgot to mention. So Mercury retrogrades happen in fire signs this year. So we have our first Mercury retrograde in Aries. This is happening in April. And then we have our second one in Leo and Virgo. This is happening in August. And then we have our final one in Gemini. And this is happening, or sorry, Sagittarius, which is opposite to Gemini. mid-November to mid-December is when that's going to happen. Venus doesn't go retrograde this year, hallelujah. And Mars does go retrograde, but we're going to talk about that later on. I'm going to make a separate video about that later on, and we'll talk about it when the time gets closer. Otherwise, enjoy your 2024, Gemini. And again, I'll be here to talk about the monthlies. I'm going to continue to do that. So we'll see you back here very soon in the monthlies, and enjoy your year ahead. Bye for now. Hey Cancer, welcome to your 2024 year ahead. Just a reminder, this is a very general high-level overview. I do not have your chart, of course, in front of me. So what we can talk about today, though, is where the energy is going to be concentrated when it comes to these big, heavy hitter planets in the sky, and how you can utilize or best utilize the energy. But always keep in mind, if you do know your chart, it depends also on how these planets are making aspects to your personal birth chart. That's going to just add in another layer to what I'm going to talk about today. So let's start with your Taurus ruled area of your chart. So this is your 11th house of groups, friendships, associations, humanitarian efforts. It's your friendship circles. It's people you surround yourself with. And also, this is the house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, and your long-term goals, Cancer. So the nice thing is that Jupiter and Uranus have been trining your energies. Jupiter moved in here last May. Jupiter's going to be in here for another few months. Uranus has been in here since 2018. So Uranus and Jupiter have been giving you opportunities to meet new people, opportunities to meet new and different people, like people that you normally wouldn't hang out with, which is not a bad thing at all. Because wherever Uranus goes, Uranus wakes us up. Uranus shakes us up to wake up this area of our life, because Uranus is saying, hey, there's too much stagnation here. You need to change something. You got to pivot, move, shuffle, whatever the case may be. And Uranus is not a bad planet. It's not a good planet. It's neutral. So Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, because they're so far out, they technically represent the collective or external circumstances that we can't control. So usually what happens is that something in the world or something in the community or something in your city or whatever happens that's out of your control. This could even play out in the workplace and or in the home, for example. And what do you have to do? You have to pivot, you have to change, you have to move with the times. It is what it is. So that's what these bigger planets do, is help push us outside of our comfort zone for our highest good, so we can welcome in new experiences and have those experiences while we're here. Now, wherever Jupiter goes, he bestows blessings. So the nice thing about Jupiter in the 11th house is you could have noticed that you're getting benefits from older siblings, for example, if you have older siblings, or blessings coming in from friendship groups or circles or memberships or associations that you belong to. This also rules, this house rules your role that you play in these groups as well. So maybe you've had the opportunity to take on more of a leadership role in these groups that you belong to. Or again, you might notice your friend circle is more helpful. Your friend circle is there for you when you need them. Or again, blessings are coming in through your friends, or again, an older sibling. This also helps your relationships with older siblings as well. Again, if you have older siblings. Jupiter also could have brought in opportunities to travel long distance as well. That's definitely a possibility. Jupiter in here also could have brought you more opportunity when it comes to work, day-to-day duty responsibility, changing up your day-to-day routine, maybe changing up a diet, a health plan, or a nutrition plan, or maybe welcoming in a new pet into your circle or into your family or into your home, for example. So Jupiter is going to continue to trek along here. Jupiter then is going to go into your hidden 12th house. This is a quieter transit for Jupiter, but it will expand on your spirituality. If you have a spiritual practice, Cancer, it's going to expand on that. I suggest that you go with the flow and absolutely do that. This is also going to expand on your, you might notice your dreams get a little bit more vivid. So if you're into it, you can create a dream journal at this time. Jupiter is also expanding anything you're working on behind the scenes. So Jupiter is going to be bringing blessings in. And then when Jupiter flows into your sign in 2025, then Jupiter's going to bring whatever it is that you're working on the back end to the forefront. And again, when Jupiter transits your sign, that's big blessings coming your way, huge blessings coming your way. Cancer, you could also have, again, more work opportunities this year, opportunity to something to do with your parents, parental figures, authority figures in your life, bosses. Again, this is going to improve the relationship with these folks, with authority figures, with bosses, with parents, when Jupiter is moving into Gemini, which is really incredible. So there could be opportunity coming in that way. Let's see here. Yeah, and you're wrapping up too. Jupiter in the 12th house is like wrapping up. Jupiter in the 12th house also gives you an angel on your shoulder all year round. Now, keep in mind, we all have angels. We all have spiritual teams all the time. Jupiter just makes it more obvious. Like Jupiter, it's synchronicity, it's signs, it's coins, it's feathers, it's things aligning, being in the right place at the right time. You're going to notice that more, Cancer, once Jupiter flows into Gemini, your 12th house. And again, this is starting in May for you. Now, Saturn and Neptune have been in your 9th house for quite a while. So Neptune's been in here since 2012, and then Saturn has been in here since March of 2023. Now, Saturn's going to continue to trek along here, and same with Neptune. Now, this is an interesting placement for these two planets. The bonus here, though, is that Saturn and Neptune are trining your planets, your points, your placements, whatever you're watching for right now for Cancer. Now, this isn't push-pull energy, though, because Saturn is all about boundaries and structures and building things. Neptune is all about dissolving anything it touches. So Saturn comes along, wants to build a skyscraper. Neptune comes along and says, well, let's soften the edges. Let's look at this through a different lens. Let's have a drink or two, and then let's have a cigarette, and then let's sit down and talk about it. That's Neptune. So quite a different mentality here. Now, if you are in the education sector, or if you're trying to, like something to do with higher education, teaching, learning, coursework, university, colleges, whether you're teaching or coaching or mentoring, or you're the student, this is where this house falls in your chart. Now, at times you might really feel this push-pull mentality from Saturn and Neptune, and that's okay. Saturn is helping you build on a solid foundation when it comes to your education, when it comes to traveling, when it comes to dealing with foreign lands, foreign cultures, dealing with people that are different from you all over the world. This is also the house of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, Cancer. So Saturn and Neptune could be helping you with that as well. And Neptune in here is asking you to trust and to bring in some spirituality. This is the house of religion. So if you're being pulled to a specific religion or metaphysical world, or anything spiritual, continue to follow that, because that's what Neptune is helping you to do. And then Saturn is here to crystallize that for you, bring it into form for you. So continue to follow that hunch, Cancer. And again, you have a long ways to go here. Saturn's going to be in this sign for quite a while. And same with Neptune until 2025, 2026, and then they pop into your 10th house of career at that time. So, and also Cancer, this could be something to do with relationships. Cancer, Saturn could be trying to crystallize and bring you a serious, solid relationship. The 9th house is second marriages, Cancer. So if that resonates with you, that could be a possibility as well. So Saturn's trying to help you bring in the right person, the right fit. Saturn also rules your house of shared resources, shared properties, inheritances, debts, taxes, loans. Saturn rules your house of transformation. So again, wherever Saturn goes, he's going to continue to infuse this relationship aspect and also this shared resources and finances aspect into your life wherever Saturn goes or touches, if that makes sense. Now, Pluto moved into your 8th house of, as I just mentioned, this is a heavy house. This is deep intimacy. This is psychological matters. This is taxes, debts, loans. This is shared resources, property, inheritances, finances in general, like finances that you get from another source, whether that's the government or work or whatever the case may be, Cancer. So this is a long haul. So, I mean, I'm not going to go on and on and on about it, but Pluto is here to transform the way you share your resources, the way you spend money, the way you save money, anything to do with finances. Pluto is going to make sure that you are authentically who you are when it comes to sharing resources with other people. Pluto, well, Saturn just popped out of the sign. So Saturn should have taught you, or at least maybe tested you when it came to shared resources and something to do with what is yours and what is mine. And anything, this also includes property as well and investments and as well. So Pluto being in here, this is actually the house Pluto rules as well. So he functions very well here. So all in all, Pluto's going to help you become authentically true to your resources, whatever that means for you, or detoxing, or what else could this be? This could also have something to do with your children. This could also have something to do with romance, dating, how you express yourself, self-expression. This could be also, if you have a side hustle, bringing that to light and what that looks like and what kind of resources can this business provide to you, for example. So a long transit, Cancer, very, very, very long transit, but I have no doubt you're happy that Pluto is moving away from your opposite sign. I know that wasn't easy because obviously that was all about relationships, right? So anyway, 20 years, and Pluto's not making a direct hit to Cancer. It's an inconjunct. So, I mean, it's not making a direct aspect to Cancer. But again, depending on your chart, Pluto could be talking in different aspects to your personal planet placements, whatever you're watching for right now. North node in Aries, south node in Libra is going to continue to move along here. And we have more eclipses coming down the pipe this year. So we have 2 in Libra, and let me see here, March 25th and October the 2nd. And then we have 1 in Aries up in your career sector, and this is April the 8th. And then we have our first eclipse in Pisces on September the 17th, which is going to be interesting. This is going to give us a breadcrumb of what these eclipses are going to bring to us, for us in 2025. So as I mentioned, nothing changes this year with the eclipse cycle until 2025, which again, I'll be here to talk about it later on. Venus doesn't go retrograde this year. Mars does, but not until the end of the year. This one will impact you, Cancer, because the retrograde is happening in Cancer and Leo. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when the time comes. Don't worry about it. Nothing to worry about. It's a personal planet. Mercury goes retrograde every 2 years. So anyway, I'll talk about it later on in the year because this isn't happening till December. And then we have Mercury retrograde happening in the fire signs this year. The first one is in Aries, up in your 10th house of career. So this is starting in April. August, we have another Mercury retrograde happening in Leo and Virgo. And then our final one for 2024 happening in Sag. And this is mid-November to mid-December. And again, I'll talk about it. I'll write about it later on in the year with regards to these Mercury retrogrades. You're not a fire sign. So, I mean, they're not going to impact you greatly. Again, depending on if you have any planets, points, placements in these signs. I think the Aries one you're going to feel the most because it's at the top of your chart. So again, home, family, foundation, mom, dad, authority figures in your life, bosses. This could be bosses coming back from the past, actually. Careers coming back from the past, something to do with career, work, status, reputation, things like that. There could be some adjustments here with this Mercury retrograde. But otherwise, Cancer, enjoy 2024. I hope you have a wonderful year ahead, and we will see you back here in the monthly horoscopes that I do every single month. So bye for now. Hey Leo, let's talk about 2024 and what energies are available to you to take advantage of this year. So just a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. I don't obviously have your chart in front of me, so I'm just going to talk about from a high level perspective what houses based on your ascendant or sun I think are going to be lit up by this energy in 2024 and beyond for that matter, because some of these planets are going to be in here for a while. So Leo, let's start with, your 10th house of career. So this is incredible for you, Leo. I'm sure at times you're saying to yourself, it hasn't been incredible, because with Uranus up in your 10th house of career, status, public reputation, this is also your parental access as well. Authority figures, bosses, or anyone in your life that has been a big part of your life in raising you. This is what this house represents. So it's not only career. Uranus has been up here since 2018, waking you up, waking and shaking you up to basically wake up to your true career path, your true heart's intent when it comes to what you want to leave behind as your legacy, what you want to be known for, Leo. So I have no doubt this has been uncomfortable at times, whether Uranus has squared your ascendant, your moon, or your sun sign. So, I mean, your career could have been impacted, your body could have been impacted, your health and well-being, I already said your career, your home, family, foundation. Also, again, this is the parental access. So maybe your parents are doing these off the wall things or doing these strange things. And again, it impacts you, right? Being a part of the family, Leo. So I have no doubt Uranus up here in the top of the chart is not the easiest, but it's making you pay attention to what you truly want to do for the rest of your life and what type of legacy you want to leave behind and what you want to be known for. Jupiter being up in here is a godsend. So Jupiter bestows blessings wherever Jupiter goes. And again, this is bringing in new career opportunity. So new career opportunities. I also forgot to mention, it just popped into my head. Maybe you've had some eccentric, off the wall, weird, wild bosses. That could have been a possibility too. And also multiple jobs. I wouldn't have any doubt, Leo, if you've bounced from job to job to job, not like every year, possibly, but I mean, I have no doubt you would have been changing your job quite a few times, or at least once since 2018 for that matter. But anyway, going back to Jupiter, Jupiter will bring or has already brought new opportunities to you in this area of life. So Jupiter has been in here since May. Jupiter will leave this sign, move into your 11th house in May of this year. So continue to take advantage of this energy. Jupiter will continue to bring opportunities when it comes to your career, public status, and reputation. Also, this helps with, you could receive gifts or bonuses or rewards or recognition from a boss, again, a workplace, a career, whatever it is that you do, that you put yourself out there, or a parent could really help you out, or again, an authority figure, an elder in your life at this time. Now, if you're saying to yourself, well, Stacey, I'm retired, this doesn't apply to me. Well, yeah, the 10th house is still your status and your reputation and whatever it is that you are known for. Even if you are retired, you're still known for something. You left your legacy behind, right? So this is taking those next steps of, okay, what do I do now in retirement? You know, how can I contribute my skill set to the world, even if it's something to do with children, like becoming an elder, becoming a mentor and a coach, Leo, and passing down that knowledge perhaps to something to do with children or something to do with a creative project. Again, hobbies are highlighted here, diving into hobbies, projects, anything that lights up your heart, anything that brings you joy, Leo, is highlighted here. Again, whether you're retired or not, even if you're working, dive into hobbies at this time. I think that's going to light you up, and you never know, this could become a side hustle that you could do on a full-time basis later on down the road. I'm going to get to that with Saturn in your 8th house, because this is a possibility, because Saturn and Neptune are making these opportunity aspects to your career house. So that's an opportunity with Saturn and Jupiter coming together in opportunity blessing aspects. Now, Jupiter is going to move on to your 11th house, and this is going to start in May for the next year until 2025, middle of 2025. So your 11th house, Leo, is your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your long-term goals and objectives. This is also the house of humanitarian efforts, if that resonates with you. It also represents your friendship circle, whoever you surround yourself with at this time, and it also represents your relationship or your role in these groups, associations, people that you surround yourself with at this time. So Leo, Jupiter in here, again, incredible. Your social circles are going to expand. They're going to get bigger. You will probably incorporate people that either from a different culture, different background, at a greater distance. With the online world here, like with the internet here, it could really expand to all areas of the planet, possibly. But all in all, blessings are coming in this area of life for you, Leo, over the next year, starting in May. And on top of it, Jupiter is making opportunity aspects to your planets, points, placements in Leo, whatever it is that you're watching for right now. So that's going to help you even more, just expand in so many ways and bring the joy back into your life for sure, Leo. Now let's talk about your 8th house. This is a heavy house, and you got 2 heavy hitters in that house. So Saturn is fabulous. Saturn is fantastic. A lot of people hate Saturn, but if you work with Saturn, Saturn brings you bigger rewards than Jupiter, because Saturn sets you up for the test of time, for the long haul. Jupiter is like, okay, here you go, you won $100 on the lottery, or here you go, I connected you with a new work colleague, or I connected you with this group association that you can expand your network. That's great. I'm not saying those are bad things, but Saturn ensures that you're building on a firm foundation, so Saturn can hold up everything that you're creating right now, Leo, creating the life that you desire. So yeah, Saturn can be a Debbie Downer, but some planets got to carry that label. So it may as well be Saturn. So Saturn is trying to crystallize something in your financial house. Saturn is helping you to rely on yourself when it comes to finances, resources, property, inheritance, taxes, debts, loans. So Saturn here, as I mentioned, If you have a side hustle, Leo, or if you want to bust out and be an entrepreneur or a consultant or a mentor or a motivational speaker, not a bad idea to try that out while Saturn is here in your 8th house, because Saturn can make it happen. I've heard of people starting businesses, very successful businesses, while Saturn transited their 8th house. So, Leo, you don't have to do this, but I'm just putting it out there. It's a possibility. But Neptune is in there. Neptune can create confusion. Neptune dissolves anything it touches. So, here Saturn is trying to build you an empire, okay? And Neptune comes along and says, okay, that's great. It looks good, but let's soften the edges a little bit. Let's make the edges more round. And let's, paint it a different color. And let's, look at this house from a different perspective or a different lens. Let's put different glasses on. And then let's have a couple cocktails and a couple cigarettes. And then let's sit down and talk about it and look at it and see if that changes our perspective. That's Neptune. So do you see the difference here? There's the hard ass Saturn coming in like a sergeant, and then there's Neptune, like, I don't know, doing its thing, dissolving and wanting to soften the edges and stuff like that. So a lot of us are going through this push-pull mentality in at least one area of life. For you, Leo, it's finances, it's shared resources, shared property, anything you share with a partner. So that could be love or business. Or again, something to do with taxes, debts, loans, inheritances, signing on the dotted line, things like that. This is also a very deep, transformational, psychological house as well. So you could really feel foggy in the head at times as well. So just know that's Neptune. But Saturn is going to come along and help you clear the fog and clear out the clutter. But again, that's not going to, like, Saturn and Neptune aren't going to leave this sign until 2025, 2026. So you have quite a few more years to build on this energy. But crystallize whatever you want to crystallize, Leo, from a financial perspective or resources, or again, this is earning income from another source, a side hustle, for example. Whatever it is that you want to bring into your life, this is the opportunity to crystallize it and bring it into form. Again, if you work with Saturn, he's going to bring you big rewards. Now, moving on to Pluto. Pluto is going to be in your 7th house for 20 years. So this is not a fast transit. I'm going to be talking about this a lot, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but the gist of it here is your relationships are going to change, Leo, in all areas of your life, every single area of your life, every single person that comes into your life beginning now, beginning in January 2024, could be a game changer for you. You are going to transform and learn through relationships, through the other person that you're connected to. So this could be love, marriage, this could be work or business partnerships or anybody that you get into business with. This could also be long-term friendships that also transform your view when it comes to relationships as well. The 7th house also rules contracts, agreements, negotiations. So when you're signing on that dotted line, Leo, in the next 20 years, think about this. This could change your life. Whatever you're signing on the dotted line for, it could ultimately change your existence, change your life, And you're probably thinking, well, is it good or bad? I don't know. Pluto is not a bad planet. Pluto's not a good planet. Pluto's just Pluto, just like Uranus. Uranus is not bad. Uranus is not good, but Uranus will shake the shit out of you until you wake up. Where Pluto is going to strip you down to your core until you are your true, authentic being. like what you're here to do, Leo. This could have also something to do with your relationships with family members as well, because Pluto rules your fourth house of home, family, foundation. So this could have something to do with ancestry. This could have something to do with your roots, mom, dad, authority figures in your life, bosses. They will be a part of your transformation, or maybe you need to transform those relationships. You know, I can't help but think of Saturn here with the boundaries here, you know, boundaries with bosses, boundaries with parents. It's okay to say no, things like that. But part of your transformation in the 20 years coming up here possibly could do with home, family, foundation as well. So, and again, Leo, I don't know, it depends on the other areas of your chart, wherever you have your planets, your personal planets, placements, points, Pluto. If Pluto's talking to them in a certain way, that's going to also add in another layer to this aspect. But all in all, you're going to transform through relationships, hands down, throughout this transit. Now, Leo, North Node, South Node is going to continue to transit through Aries and Libra. So that will continue until 2025. We have 4 eclipses this year. So we have 2 in Libra, March 25th, October 2nd. We have 1 in Aries on April the 8th. And then we have 1 in Pisces on September the 17th. So this is a sneak peek in September and October of what is coming down the pipe for us when it comes to the Pisces, Virgo ruled areas of our charts, Leo. And again, I'll talk about it more so in my monthlies. I'm not going to really focus on that now, but the eclipses will continue to transform. This is your learning aspect. This is your travel aspect. This is teaching. This is training. This is upgrading your skills. This is short distance traveling, long distance traveling. This is transportation. Venus does not turn retrograde this year. Hallelujah. Mars does though. So Mars will be turning retrograde starting in December of next year. So of 2024, and then goes direct in 2025. So I'll talk about that later on. Not going to focus on that right now. Nothing to worry about. I'll make a separate video about that, and I'll talk about it in my monthlies as well as the year goes on. Now, the Mercury retrogrades are happening in the fire signs this year, so you will be impacted by this. Let's see here. The first Mercury retrograde happens in Aries, up in your 9th house. This is happening in April. So this is going to impact travel. Just off the top of my head, this is definitely going to impact your traveling, Leo, long distance traveling. So make sure you are aware of that in April. In August, your birthday season, we have a Mercury retrograde in August, pretty much all of August. It starts in Virgo and backs into your sign. So if you have any late degree planets, points in Leo, this is going to impact you the most. But regardless, it's going to impact you because, you know, your first house is Leo. So that's in August. And then middle of November, middle of December, we have a retrograde in Sagittarius. So those are the Mercury retrogrades this year in the fire signs. So you all definitely will be impacted by this, but nothing to fear. I'll talk about it later on when the time comes. Otherwise, Leo, that's about it. So enjoy your 2024 year ahead, and I will see you back here in the monthlies. Bye for now. Hey Virgo, welcome to your 2024 forecast. So let's talk about, actually before I dive into the planets here, just a reminder, this is a general reading, high level overview. It really is going to depend on, or what's going to add another layer to what I'm going to talk about today is your personal birth chart. So where I can talk about where I think the energies are going to be available to you this year and possibly beyond, it really depends on how these planets are making aspects to your personal birth chart. So just keep that in mind because that's going to add another layer to your story in 2024. But all in all, let's dive into the energy here. Let's start with Taurus. So this is your 9th house, and you've had Uranus in here since 2018, and Jupiter popped in here last May, and Jupiter will be leaving this sign this May of 2024. So wherever Uranus goes, Virgo, Uranus wakes us up. Uranus shakes us up and wakes us up to this area of life. So for you in particular, this is a really interesting aspect. Having Uranus in the 9th house, this is long distance traveling. This is citizenship, immigration, paperwork. This is anything to do with foreign land, foreign cultures, foreign countries outside of what you consider normal. So this is pushing you outside of your comfort zone. This is connecting you with cultures all over the world, different people, different cultures, all walks of life. Probably dealing with very sometimes strange and eccentric, if that's, yeah, am I saying that right? Eccentric came to my mind. Very unique experiences, let's put it that way. So if you are a traveler, a global traveler, I have no doubt you've had some very interesting experiences come your way thanks to Uranus being up in your 9th house. This also rules the house of higher education and teaching and learning. So whether you are the student, Virgo, doesn't matter your age, right? We can go back to school whenever we want. We can shift gears whenever we want. We can change our lives whenever we want. So whether you're the student or you're now the teacher and you are teaching and downloading your skills, knowledge, abilities, talents to the next generation, either way is a possibility with Uranus up here in your 9th house. This is also the house of legal matters as well. So you may have had some interesting experiences with the legal system or legal matters, or if you work in the justice system, there might have been some shakeups, some changes, some renovations, some, what's the word I'm looking for? Like forward thinking, progressive, more of a progressive look to the justice system, or some changes coming down the pipe there. All in all, both planets are making a beautiful, harmonious aspect to your planets, placements, points, Virgo. So with Uranus here, I mean, it's like expect the unexpected. Uranus is all about change. You know, if I could sum up Uranus in one word, it's change. It's disruption. It's chaos. Like that's Uranus's job, is to shake us out of our comfort zone. And it's in the house of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, Virgo. So I have no doubt you have embraced this, or I've at least touched on one thing that has brought you outside of your comfort zone and has touched you, has touched your soul in a new and innovative way. This is also the house of religion. This is the house of the gods as well. So you could have, or could be getting really incredible downloads during this transit as well. And with Jupiter in here, well, Jupiter's just going to bless everything I just nattered on about. Jupiter is here to expand and bless this house for you. Plus, Jupiter is trining your energies in Virgo, whatever it is that you're watching for. So Jupiter is going to pour in good luck and good fortune and opportunities to you in not only this house, but possibly multiple areas of your life, depending on if Jupiter is trining your ascendant, for example. That could really affect all areas: relationships, career, home, family, foundation for you. What else here? Jupiter is going to move into your 10th house starting in May and will be here for 1 year. Virgo, this is an incredible transit to have Jupiter up in your 10th house of career. So this is, again, bringing in blessings, bringing in good luck when it comes to your career, your public reputation, your status. This also could be something to do with your parents. Maybe your parents' lives get better or benefit in some way with this transit. This could be mom, dad, authority figures in your life. Jupiter here actually could also bring benefits to you from a boss. You could get recognition, rewards from a boss. Your parents could help you out, or elders, or whoever raised you if they're still in your life. But this could also be authority figures in your life. You're getting some sort of recognition here, reward, benefit from these people in your life, which is fantastic. Now, Jupiter will be making squares to your energy, Virgo. Nothing to worry about. It's just there's going to be some pivots, some changes, some shifts that you have to make. That's all. When it comes to, again, your career, this could be home, family, foundation, something to do with your parents, something to do with your relationships. So again, work, you could change jobs. There could be new opportunities coming your way, new contracts, agreements, negotiations, maybe something to do with marriage, possibly, and any relationship really, because Jupiter rules your 7th house and your 4th house. So friendship circles, long-term friendships, love partnerships, and also business or work colleagues as well. Now, Saturn and Neptune, speaking of relationships, are in your opposite sign. So, and they're going to be here for a while. They're going to be here for a while. Neptune's been in here since 2012. Saturn just came in here in 2023. Both of them are going to be in here until about 2025, 2026, because the retrograde, they go back and forth a little bit at that end degree. But regardless, Virgo, Saturn in here, actually Saturn transiting your 7th house could put a ring on it. You could get engaged or you could get married. After all, this is the house of marriage. And actually with Jupiter and Saturn making a sextile there could be an opportunity here to connect with a love partner from overseas, or someone at a great distance from you, and then you two are getting married at some point, or connecting at some point, or moving in together at some point, like taking the next step in your relationship. Saturn here makes you very serious when it comes to relationships. No fluffy bunny romance. It's you want something for the long term, the long haul when it comes to a partner. This could be a partner in business. This could be work colleagues. This could be, again, a marriage or a relationship. If you are dating, you want a serious relationship. You don't want fluffy bunny stuff. You know, it's like whatever. That's done and over with. Time to be serious. So Saturn brings that into your life, and Saturn really helps you build a firm foundation, these relationships on a firm foundation. So that's what I love about Saturn being in the 7th house. However, Neptune here, very interesting energy here, Virgo. I'm laughing because I've been saying this to every single sign. So, okay, here Saturn is. Saturn's like, okay, let's build on a firm foundation. Let's build this house together, blah, blah, blah. Neptune comes along and says, well, no, like let's round out the corners of the house. Let's make it round instead of square. And let's paint it a different color. Let's put in these type of windows instead of those type of windows. And let's look at it, at this house through our rose-colored glasses, because this is the 7th house after all. And then let's have a couple cocktails. Let's have, you know, a cigarette or two and more drinks. And then let's sit down and talk about the house. That's what this is. So Virgo, this could be frustrating, you know, for all of us, because this is happening for all of us in at least one area of life. So you're getting this push-pull mentality in relationships, in this relationship house. And again, when I say that, it could be love, business, or a long-term friendship for you. So actually, and also for you, this could be something to do with a child as well, because Saturn rules your 5th house of children. So this could also maybe have something to do with family, your children, if you have children. This could also have to do with creative project or a side hustle or hobby that maybe you're trying to get off the ground as well. But yeah, Virgo, this can be disorientate. Like you could be just foggy, disoriented, confused at times, just know this is that push-pull from Neptune and Saturn, unfortunately. That's just the nature of the beast right now. But all in all, just know Saturn coming through this sign, Saturn's going to clear the fog at some point and crystallize something into form for you, for your highest good. And then Neptune is just asking to bring in the spirituality aspect. That's all. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So it is about love. It is about compassion. It is about softening your edges, Virgo. So yeah, that's sort of what Neptune is asking you to do. But I can sympathize with these planets being opposing your sun, your ascendant, your moon, especially with Saturn. This can take a toll on your health. So be mindful of that. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you from experience. When Saturn opposed my sun and what I experienced. But if your ascendant is in Virgo, your true ascendant, again, you could be looking at marriage. If you're looking to get married, this could be a very serious marriage or relationship coming in. Absolutely. This person coming in could be older than you or very mature for their age. Absolutely. But they have their shit together, Virgo, which I know you'll like. Which I know you'll like, Virgo. And same with Neptune. So Neptune opposing, again, depending on what you're watching for, this can take a toll on your body and your health. Maybe some weird, what do they call them? Psychosomatic? I think it's called psychosomatic. I could be wrong. Again, I'm not a doctor, you guys. I've had some wicked health challenges in my life. And let me tell you, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus has played a big part in this. So I'm not just saying this to say it. Like, I've lived and breathed these kind of things. So, and I know I'm not the only one, because that's not possible. But even when Neptune opposes certain planets, placements, points, like personal planets, it can also bring in these weird things that come out of nowhere, like a rash. I'll use that as a simple example. Like, say you get a rash and you're like, well, where did that come from? And then it goes away in a couple days. That's kind of like Neptune. Neptune does these weird things to our body. Again, psychosomatic, because it's 12th house. It's like hidden. So it like brings these weird things out in the open, you know? So anyway, those are just examples. I'm not trying to doom and gloom you, Virgo. Please don't take it that way. Please don't think, oh my God, I'm going to get sick and die. Neptune's already pretty much at the end of this transit. So, I mean, if any of this happened, it would have happened by now, unless you have your sun, your moon, your ascendant at the last degrees of Virgo, then Neptune is just getting started. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to give you some examples, Virgo. That's all. So anyway, moving on. Pluto moving into your 6th house. This is, again, a super busy house, just like the 3rd house. Very busy house. Day-to-day duty, responsibility, habits, routines. Again, this is a health house. Pluto's definitely going to be cleaning up your health. I can tell you that right now, because I just went through this transit with Pluto in my 6th house, and yeah, it was enlightening for sure. And it made me lean out my diet. I had to really lean out my diet with Pluto in the 6th house. So, and again, nothing to be scared about. Like, this is a good thing, you guys. And plus, you're the health sign. You are the sign of health. You represent technically the 6th house of health and well-being. So you are, you know, if you have Pluto in Virgo, I'm going to put it out there, you probably are in the health field, or you're in the holistic field, or like a naturopathic doctor or a chiropractor, or something to do with healthcare. I have no doubt the Pluto in Virgo generation is the epitome of our healthcare system, the epitome. So anyway, nothing to fear here. So your day-to-day is going to change. Your day-to-day habits, routines are going to change. Your health is going to change for the better. Your routines are going to change. Your, what am I thinking about here? Like duty, responsibility, anything to do with your day-to-day, nutrition, diet, anything you put in your mouth. Pets. Your life could transform through pets, Virgo. This is really cool as well. So if you're thinking about getting a pet, not a bad idea. So anyway, 20-year transit here, Virgo. I could go on and on and on, but I don't want this video to be too long. But all in all, this house is ready to be transformed by Pluto. Nothing to be scared about, nothing to fear. This technically Pluto's not making any direct aspects to your Virgo placements, but again, it depends on what else is happening in your chart. Now, North Node, South Node continues to work on your financial access, Virgo. This is going to continue in 2024. We're going to have 4 eclipses this year. So 2 in Libra starting on March 25th and October 2nd, and then 1 up in Aries, and this is happening on the 8th of April. And then we have our first eclipse in your relationship house in Pisces. This is happening on the 17th of September. This is a sneak peek of what could be coming down the pipe for you in 2025 in a brand new area of your life. Well, where Saturn and Neptune are right now. So I'll talk about that later on, and I'm going to make a separate video about the new eclipse cycle later on in the year as well. Venus is not going retrograde this year, hallelujah. Mars is though, and not until December though. So we're going to talk about that later on in the year. And then Mercury is retrograding through the fire signs this year. So if you have any energy in the fire signs, you will be impacted by this the most. Again, nothing to fear. This is just Mercury. This is just Mercury, people. So it's okay. Everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be cool. You just got to redo a couple things in these areas of life. The first Mercury retrograde is happening in Aries in April. In August, this one is happening in Virgo and Leo. So it's happening at the late degrees of Virgo, and then he backs into Leo and keeps going. So, yeah, so that one will impact you, but again, nothing to be scared about. We just had a Mercury retrograde in Virgo. It would have been around the same time frame, so you would have got a taste of that. Now is just round 2 of working out the kinks to finalize something when it comes to career sector, and also again health and well-being, you personally, professionally, home life, or relationship sector. So that's August. Middle of November, middle of December is going to be the retrograde in Sagittarius. So I'll talk about that later on when the time comes, but otherwise have a wonderful 2024, Virgo, and we'll see you back here in the monthlies that I do each and every month. So bye for now, and we'll see you soon. Hey Libra, welcome to your 2024 year ahead forecast. So Libra, before we dive in, just a reminder, this is a general horoscope. I don't have your chart in front of me. So what we're going to talk about is high level themes in specific areas of your life. Now, if these planets, points, placements are making any aspects to anything in your chart, that's just going to add another layer as to the energy that is coming down the pipe for you. So let's get started here. We're going to start with Taurus, the energy that's up in your 8th house of Taurus. So this is a financial house for you, Libra. Now, Uranus has been in here since 2018. So Uranus shakes up, wakes up anywhere that he goes, anywhere that he touches in your chart. So in particular, Libra, where Aries is asking you to, or sorry, not Aries, Uranus. I hope I didn't say Aries earlier, but where Uranus is trying to wake you up and shake you up when it comes to shared resources of all kinds, shared property. This also rules the house of your partner's income and finances as well. And this also rules like taxes, debts, loans, inheritances, money that you receive from other sources. So this could be alimony, could be from divorce settlements, this could be from the government, whatever the case may be. This is a long transit. So Uranus will be in here for quite a while until 2026. Now, Jupiter in here, wherever Jupiter goes, Jupiter bestows blessings. So Libra, you may have benefited from a partner's income. When I say a partner, this could be business or love. So you could have benefited from this, or your finances from another source could have increased, again, from government, a tax rebate, alimony, divorce settlement, or I don't know, money coming from another source, basically. So that should have increased this year. Your finances in general should have increased in some way, shape, or form starting last May, and it's going to continue until this May when Jupiter moves along into Gemini. Now, speaking of that, Gemini moving into the 9th house for you is actually making a trine, a beautiful, flowing, harmonious trine to your planets, placements, points in Libra. This is incredible. So again, wherever Jupiter goes, Jupiter bestows blessings and grace and joy and happiness and indulgence. So Libra, you will have the opportunity to travel, more so long distance, I'm thinking, could be short distance as well, because Jupiter rules your 3rd house of community and short distances as well. So opportunities to travel are on the horizon for you. And while you're traveling, you might find good luck, or good luck will find you while traveling. So this is an incredible transit. If you're like a global trotter and you're always traveling, you're going to have Jupiter by your side the whole time in 2024 into 2025, which is a blessing in itself. This is also the house of higher education, higher learning, teaching, going back to school, upgrading. This is the house of also the justice system, legal matters. So if you have any court cases or legal battles or divorces on the go, this is good news for you, Libra, because this energy will be, again, bringing you in more money, more resources, more finances. Things will go your way, hopefully. Again, I'd have to see your whole chart to see the big picture, but generally speaking, this energy is flowing to you in a harmonious trine, which is incredible. Now, let's talk about Saturn and Neptune here. So they've been in, well, Neptune has been in your house for quite some time, since 2012. Saturn just popped into here March of 2023. So Saturn in here is trying to clean up your day-to-day habits, routines, a new health regime, also dieting, nutrition, exercise, taking care of your body, but also taking care of the day-to-day busyness of life as well. This could also have something to do with your pets as well. So this is a very busy house. This also represents work, like what we do on a day-to-day mundane work level. This also represents co-workers, people that we work with, and also the work environment. So what Saturn's trying to do here is help build a firm, solid routine, whether it's work, whether it's your day-to-day, whether it's your health. Saturn is trying to help you. But keep in mind, Saturn is also here to test these foundations. Because if they're not solid, what Saturn will do is Saturn will help you rebuild that, or build on top of what you already have to make it better. So when Saturn moves out of this sign, you can stand on your own 2 feet, so to speak. And your health is in check. Your diet routine is in check. Exercise is in check. Things like that. Work. Also, you know what, for some of you, Libra, you could change jobs. You know, if you're getting frustrated with your career, Saturn in here could bring you a long-term job opportunity that's going to stick for the long haul. Absolutely. This might have already happened, Libra, because again, this, you know, Saturn in here started in 2023. So this might have already happened, the job change or the job switch. Now, Neptune in here can make things confusing and foggy. I'm not going to lie. There can be a push-pull thing here, which can be frustrating. But just know everybody's going through this just in a different area of their chart, of their life. So Saturn wants to come in and build structures for you and build it on a solid foundation. Neptune wants to come in and be like, no, let's dissolve that. Let's change that. Let's round things out. Let's blur the lines a little bit. Let's paint it a different color. Let's sit back and have a couple cocktails and have a couple cigarettes, and then let's talk. You know, that's Neptune. So you can see the push-pull mentality here, where Saturn's trying to get you on your feet, make you independent, and make you get into a solid new routine. And then Neptune's in here like, meh, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do it next month. We'll do it the next day. So just know that push-pull mentality is there for a purpose. And Neptune is also asking you to bring in a spiritual aspect, a compassionate aspect in your 6th house day-to-day matters, Libra. Okay, and then let's see Pluto. Yeah, let's talk about Pluto. So Pluto is moved into your 5th house of children, of creativity, of self-expression. This also is the house of romance and dating as well. So this is actually normally a very fun, light-hearted, heart-oriented part of our charts. So Libra, this is going to get really interesting because Pluto is going to ask you, Pluto is going to strip you very slowly to be your true, authentic self when it comes to 5th house matters. So to give you some simple examples, if you are a parent, this Pluto could be asking you to be your authentic self when it comes to children, raising children, having children, starting a family. Pluto just wants you to be authentically you, not for anybody else, but for you. Another thing is, you know, if you have a creative project or endeavor on the go, Pluto again could come in here and transform it for something greater, something bigger, something that you can sell. Pluto through here could take a side hustle or hobby and create a huge empire business out of it, Libra. Is it going to happen overnight? No, because this is a 20-year transit. So, and on top of it, Pluto is going to be trining your planets, placements, points in Libra over the next 20 years, which is incredible, like beyond incredible, Libra. So I love this for you because you've had Pluto in the 4th house for the past 16 years. That's not easy. Totally transforming your home life. I have no doubt your home life has changed and transformed and changed again. Relationships with parents, relationships with mother, father figures in your life, bosses, authority figures in your life have probably transformed and shifted over again, possibly multiple times. So now Pluto is going to stop squaring your energies, and Pluto's going to start flowing to your energies. So I love this for you. You all, the air signs, are incredibly lucky. Libra, Gemini, very, very lucky. Aquarius, a different story, because again, Pluto conjunct planets. It depends on the planet that it's conjuncting. So it depends on the energy that's coming down the pipe. And again, it depends on how the chart is set up. Another flavor here that Pluto could be transforming is your finances, your self-worth. Again, your work, what you do for work, how you earn an income. Your self-worth, your material possessions, that all is up for some transformation as well while Pluto moves through this 5th house for you, Libra. Now, the nodes of the moon continue to move through your sign and Aries for the rest of 2024. They're going to shift out of your sign in 2025. We're going to continue to have eclipses along this axis for you, Libra, which I have no doubt is changing, reshaping your relationships in some way, shape, or form, possibly even your career, and possibly, again, something to do with your home, family, foundation, life. So we have 2 eclipses in Libra this year. The first one is March 25th. The second one is October the 2nd. Then we have an eclipse in Aries, and this is happening on the 8th of April. And then we have our first eclipse in Pisces, which is happening on September the 17th, which is really interesting because this will give us a sneak peek of what is to come in the next lunar eclipse cycle, which is starting in 2025. So again, I'll talk about that closer to the date. I'll make separate videos about this as well and how this is going to impact each and every sign. But again, Libra, something is being asked. You need to let go of something in order to welcome in something new. And again, I have a feeling this could have the flavor of a relationship, love, business, work, contracts, agreements, negotiations, marriage, possibly even long-term friendships as well. So Venus, your ruler, does not go retrograde this year. Hallelujah. We dealt with that last year. We're good. So Venus doesn't go retrograde. She's direct all year. Mars does go retrograde, though. This happens at the end of December into 2025. So I'll talk about that later on. Mercury retrogrades are happening in the fire signs this year. So if you have anything in the fire elements, this will impact you the most, or you're just going to feel it the most. Nothing bad. It just means you're going to be impacted. Something's got to be redone, reshuffled, re-looked at, whatever the case may be, again, depending on the area of life. So we have the first one in Aries. This is going to impact your relationships. This is starting in April. Our second one is in August. This is in Virgo and Leo. And then our final one is in Sagittarius, and that's in middle of November to middle of December. We'll talk about that later on in the year when the time comes. Otherwise, have a wonderful 2024 year ahead, Libra, and we'll see you back here in the monthly horoscopes. Bye for now. Hey Scorpio, welcome to your 2024 year ahead horoscope. Keep in mind, these are general readings. Take what resonates, leave the rest. I do not have your personal chart sitting in front of me at this time. So again, I'm going to talk about high level energies impacting areas of life based on your sun sign or your ascendant based on whole sign house systems. And if you have any personal planets placements scattered around the chart, that's going to add another layer to this story in 2024. But on a high level, let's get started here. Taurus. Look at your Taurus house. That's opposite to you, Scorpio. So Uranus has been in here since 2018. Jupiter has been in here since last May and will continue to move along in here. So Uranus is the planet of disruption, of change, of chaos. Uranus is not good or bad, but what Uranus does is Uranus wakes us up. And in your case, Scorpio, Uranus is waking up your relationship sector. So this could be love relationships. This could be marriages. This could be work partnerships. This could be work colleagues. This could be contracts, agreements, negotiations. Again, marriage is in there. Also, long-term friendships occupies this house as well, Scorpio. So I have no doubt you've maybe had some unusual experiences with partnership, whether you're married or not, whether you're single or not. Definitely some perhaps exciting or unexpected adventures with your partner at this time, or again, if you're single, meeting new people, meeting different people, like eccentric and maybe normally people you wouldn't date at this time is a possibility as well. Jupiter. So the nice thing about Jupiter is Jupiter comes into your 7th house. Jupiter could bring in a marriage into your life at this time. Because Jupiter expands everywhere he touches, but he also pours in blessings. So the nice thing about Jupiter in the 7th house is Jupiter sort of smooths things over when it comes to relationships, when it comes to partnerships. You could even benefit from your partner at this time, not only by money, but other means as well. Like your partner's very helpful, your partner's very caring, your partner bends over backwards for you. When I say partner, again, it could be love or business or a friendship. So just keep that in mind when I say partner. But all in all, this should smooth out relationships at this time. And again, if a relationship is not suiting you, Scorpio, this is the transit that's going to change the relationship. So again, you could go from single to common law, single to common law to married, or the opposite. You could separate or divorce during this time. But with Jupiter in the 7th house, this could bring in somebody else into your life for your highest good. And they could even be international. They could even be like different or not in your immediate community. They might be somebody that you normally don't date. And again, Uranus is helping you with that as well. So Jupiter does move out of this sign into your 8th house in May of this year until May, June of 2025. Now, Jupiter in the 8th house is pretty incredible because this is a financial house, Scorpio. So you could benefit from more money coming your way, bigger tax checks, a divorce settlement, something to do with the justice system, more money coming your way, alimony, or if you get money from the government in some way, shape, or form, this is more money, bigger money coming your way. You could also benefit, this is also good for your partner, business or love, because their income can increase at this time, and then you benefit from that, which is absolutely incredible. Jupiter moving through the 8th house, this is also about shared, not only resources and money, but shared property as well. So you could look at maybe possibly getting a bigger house or moving in together with your partner at this time as well. Also favorable to go to the bank, loans, anything like that, dealing with financial advisors or lawyers or accountants looks good, looks positive at this time, especially with Jupiter in this house helping you out. So that is absolutely incredible for you, Scorpio. Now let's talk about your Pisces house there. So this is down in your 5th house. The incredible thing about this, Scorpio, is Saturn and Neptune is trining your energy. So flowing to your energy. Again, whatever you're watching for right now in Scorpio. So Saturn is incredible because Saturn crystallizes, brings things into form. Saturn's a hard ass though. So Saturn makes you work for it. Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn also delivers delays, fated delays, mind you, not just on purpose, fated delays, fated restrictions, fated slowdowns. Like wherever Saturn goes, we naturally kind of start slowing down and it's like, oh my God, I'm walking through molasses. But again, there's a purpose for this. Saturn purposely slows us down for the good. And what I love about this is, again, you can manifest a lot, Scorpio. You can manifest a lot. Please take advantage of this. So the 5th house is normally a really lighthearted, jovial house. It's a beautiful, incredible energy to bring the joy and fun back into your life. But with Saturn in here, sometimes he can be a Debbie Downer. So I'm sorry to say that, but think of it this way. It's still trining your energy, Scorpio. So Saturn is still having your back when it comes to 5th house matters. So children, this is the house of children, creativity, self-expression, your hobbies. This is gambling, entertainment. This is also taking a side hustle, Scorpio, and making money off of it, and Jupiter could be helping you with that as well. Maybe going into a business with a partner, whether it's love or a friend or something, and this could really take off as the years move on. One thing with Saturn in here, I'm going to throw it out there for those of you with kids. Your kids could kind of irritate you, or vice versa. Your kids may be more irritable during this transit or more serious. You might notice they're more serious and more to themselves. That could be a possibility as well. It could go a different way, but you'll notice if you have children, you're going to notice they're going to have a different, their behaviors are going to change. And either they're going to be cranky because again, Saturn's squeezing them a little bit, you know, Saturn's like testing them, or they could just be more serious and, you know, taking life a little bit too serious, you know. But again, it's just a phase. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong. It's not like, you know, something bad is going to happen to your child. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this transit could make your kids seem like they're growing up really fast and they're becoming like little adults or something like that. But all in all, Scorpio, I love this for you. Even Neptune, like Neptune is asking you to bring in spirituality into your life, if you're into that. I'm not forcing that on you, Scorpio, but if you believe in the metaphysical world, if you believe in the unseen, if you believe in magic, yeah, that's what Neptune's asking you to do. Even in your creative hobbies or projects, any downloads you get, any hunches you get, act on them, Scorpio. Like this will hone your intuition like crazy. You are so psychic, it's not even funny, especially if you have a pileup of planets in Scorpio or any of the water signs, actually. If you have anything in Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, you're psychic. You're naturally psychic. Neptune in here is going to hone your intuition like crazy good. So I do love this for you, but I have to say this, Neptune can be foggy. Neptune can be confusing. Anything Neptune touches, Neptune dissolves, pretty much. Let me put it this way. I've been saying it to the other signs. So Saturn's in here trying to say, you know, build a new habit, routine, or hobby, for example. And then Neptune comes along and says, well, let's round out the edges a little bit. Let's soften things. Let's paint it soft colors if you're building a house. And let's look at this from a different perspective, through a different set of glasses. And then let's have a couple cocktails and a couple cigarettes. And then let's sit back and talk about it after we've had alcohol and drugs and cigarettes. Okay, so that's, I don't mean to joke about it, but I mean that's, I don't know how else to explain it, because that's Neptune, okay? So you see what I mean about the push-pull mentality. We have two different personalities in this fifth house that are trying to work together. They're trying, but I mean, they're so opposite. You know, Neptune's like, la, 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 let's go get wasted. Let's, you know, gamble away all of our money. Who cares? And then Saturn's like, what are you doing? Tighten the belt. Let's get going. Where are the kids? We got to go here. We got to go there. We got to build this house. We got to build structures. You know, so if you're feeling that push-pull mentality, even again with your children or yourself, because again, this is trining your energy, just know that that's Saturn and Neptune trying to work things out for you, for your highest good, Scorpio. Okay, so let's move on to Pluto. So Pluto just moved into your fourth house, a home family foundation. This is going to completely transform your home life, Scorpio, for the better, okay? For the better. There's nothing to be scared about. There's nothing to worry about, but it is a square. Like, you're not the only one that's having a square aspect with this Pluto. Taurus is going through this as well, except this is at Taurus's 10th house of career. So you are having it at the foundation of your life. So home, family, foundation, ancestry, roots. This could be mom, dad, authority figures in your life. It could bleed out into your career because, again, this is the opposite sign of Leo. So it could bleed out into transforming your career. This could be your bosses as well. So this is an important angle of your chart, Scorpio. So it really could touch all areas of your life. And again, this is your ruling planet. You're ruled by Mars, that's your ancient ruler, and your modern ruler is Pluto. So again, this is your planet. You out of all the signs, I think, are going to adapt to this a lot better than some of the other signs. Libra just had this transit in their house, their fourth house. But again, you and Libra are totally different signs, and Capricorn and Aquarius are two different signs as well. So all in all, Scorpio, long transit, 20-year transit, nothing's going to happen overnight. If your home line, if your IC runs through Aquarius, you'll probably move. You'll probably move home, or you could massively renovate your home, or you could build your home. You could build it bigger, or you could reduce the size of your home. Because again, if you have kids, 20 years, I mean, when the kids leave the nest, and if you're sitting in a big mansion with 16 bedrooms, do you really need that, Scorpio? I know I'm exaggerating, but do you understand what I hope you get the flavor of what I'm trying to get at here. And again, nothing to be scared of. Okay, this is nothing bad. It's just going to change your life, because again, it's at an important angle of your chart, Scorpio. And again, if you have any planets, placements, points that are making aspects to Pluto, that's just going to be another avenue. That's just going to be another layer of transformation that Pluto is bringing in for you for your highest good. So Pluto wants you to be your true, authentic selves. And for you in particular, this has something to do with your roots, something to do with your past, something to do with your ancestry. I just heard healing. So this is actually a very healing transit with Pluto coming along, because Pluto is going to strip you down to your true, authentic core, your roots, your home, your family, where you call home. What is home? What is home, Scorpio? So again, nothing to fear, nothing to worry about, and it's a long haul. It's a long, long, long haul. We got 20 years of this. I'll be talking about this for a long time. Very, very, very long time. Okay, North Node, South Node continues to move through Aries and Libra at this time, transforming your work, your day-to-day habits, routines, your health, your diet, your nutrition, Scorpio. So we're going to have 4 eclipses this year. We have 2 in Libra, March 25th and October the 2nd. We have another one in Aries happening on April the 8th. And then we have our first eclipse in Pisces on September the 17th. So this is going to give all of us and you a snapshot, a breadcrumb of what is coming in 2025. And again, this is happening in that same house where Saturn and Neptune are. So I'll be here to talk about it later on. I'll be making separate videos about it, so stay tuned about that. Venus does not turn retrograde this year. She is direct all year long. Hallelujah. And then Mars, your ruling planet, is going to go retrograde this year, Scorpio. So this will impact you and Aries the most, because this is your ruling planet. But I will talk about that later on in the year. Nothing to worry about right now. This doesn't happen until December of this year. So that is about it. Oh, no, sorry. Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde in the fire signs, Scorpio. So this isn't going to, well, it depends on how this is going to impact you. Again, because it depends on if you have anything in the fire signs. So we have our first retrograde in Aries in April. We have our second retrograde in Leo and Virgo, because it's kind of going back and forth between the two signs. We have our final retrograde in Sagittarius, and this is happening middle of November to middle of December. But again, I'll talk about it later on in the monthly videos. So have a fantastic 2024 year ahead, Scorpio, and we will see you back here in the monthly videos. Bye for now. Hey, Sagittarius, welcome to your 2024 year ahead horoscope. So before we get started, Sag, just a reminder, this is a general high-level overview. I do not have your chart sitting in front of me, so it's really going to depend on if any of these heavy hitters in the sky are making any aspects to your personal planets, placements, points in your chart. That's going to just add another layer of what I'm going to talk about here today. So again, take what resonates and leave the rest. So let's start off by talking about your ruler, Jupiter. So Jupiter has been trekking through Taurus since last year of May, and he will wrap up his transit in this sign middle of May this year, and then it's going to be moving into your opposite sign of Gemini in about 5 months from now. So Jupiter, wherever Jupiter goes, he expands. This is your expansive, jovial, fun, lighthearted blessing of a planet that's moving around the zodiac sign here. But wherever Jupiter goes, Jupiter, you're always impacted by Jupiter. So yeah, lucky you, Sag, you're ruled by this wonderful, beautiful blessing of a planet. So Jupiter has been, I hope, bestowing blessings in your 6th house of health, day-to-day habits and routines. This is also the house of pets, diet, nutrition, how you take care of the body, and this is also the workplace. So I hope the workplace has been better for you this year, Sagittarius, and also your co-workers as well. Now, once Jupiter pops into Gemini, this is your partnership sector, Sagittarius. So this is going to be opposing any of your planets, placements, points in Sag. Now, Jupiter in the 7th house could bring a marriage. That is a possibility. If you're single, this could definitely bring in somebody coming into your life, possibly somebody international or from a different culture or a different country or at a distance, somebody that you don't normally date. That is a possibility. But otherwise, Jupiter in here could bring you new contracts, new agreements, new negotiations in a positive way, new friendships, new long-term friendships, and also it should bestow blessings on your current partnerships right now, whether that's marriage, love, romantic, or work or business partnerships, or long-term friendships as well. And this could actually bestow blessings in your home life as well, Sagittarius. So something to do with the home life should improve, or it could mean adjustments are in order when it comes to something to do with the home and family life once Jupiter moves into Gemini. Now, Uranus has been in your 6th house since 2018. Wherever Uranus goes, Uranus shakes things up. Uranus wakes us up. So for you, this is a busy house. Again, this is your house of health, well-being, nutrition, diet, anything to do with your day-to-day duty, responsibility, and again, the workplace, work in general, and your coworkers, colleagues that you are surrounded by. So I have no doubt there have been changes maybe in your work environment with work colleagues coming and going, you maybe leaving a job, starting a new job, that's a possibility. And also maybe some ups and downs with your health, maybe some weird things coming out of left field when it comes to your health. But again, with Jupiter in here, I'm really hoping it smooths things over for you when it comes to your health. And Jupiter will continue to move through this sign until May of this year. So again, nothing to be scary about, or be scared about, because Taurus doesn't make a direct aspect to your chart. But it is the house of health and well-being and diet. So maybe you've done yo-yo dieting, Sagittarius, or maybe you've tried different diets. Maybe you're still trying to figure out what works best for you, whatever the case may be. So Uranus is definitely in here to shake things up when it comes to this area of your life. Also pets. So you could have maybe had a lot of pets or been surprised by pets, or somebody maybe just dumped a pet off on your doorstep and said, there you go. Have fun. Bye. I can't take care of it anymore, or whatever the case may be. So pets definitely are part of probably, I'm guessing, part of your life at this time, or you've had some unique experiences with pets over the last, well, several years since 2018. Now, let's talk about the Pisces area of your chart. This is your home family foundation, Sag. So having Saturn and Neptune down here, I understand, is not the easiest energy. So you have Saturn down here testing the foundations of your home, possibly even quite literally, or, you know, testing the relationships with your family, with your extended family, roots, ancestry. This is also the axis of mom, dad, authority figures in your life. This might have bled into the workplace at some point. That's a possibility. But regardless, Saturn is in here to make sure you're building on a solid, firm foundation. And Neptune, unfortunately, dissolves anything it touches. So Neptune's not a bad planet. It's just Neptune is Neptune, right? So Neptune has no boundaries. Saturn's trying to get you to build structures, get you to build boundaries, perhaps regarding family members or mom, dad, authority figures in your life. But Neptune's here dissolving them. So say you're trying to build a house, Sag, as an example. Say you're trying to build a house. Neptune comes along and Neptune's like, well, that piece of wood is rotted out. That has water damage. Oh, there's a bunch of rain coming in on the roof. Let's soften things a little bit. Let's put some plaster here, plaster there. Let's look at this from a different lens, a different perspective. Maybe we should paint the walls purple. Let's have a couple cocktails. Let's have a couple cigarettes, and then let's, you know, sit back and figure out our next steps. So that's Neptune, okay? So Neptune is quite different, has a different energy than Saturn. But what I love about Neptune is helping you bring in more compassion and empathy and psychic energy when it comes to your home family foundation. Like, one thing you should be very in tune with, Sag, is your family. Like, you know that saying of like your mom or your dad or a parent, if you're a parent, knows when there's something wrong with their child? That's this type of energy. And that's awesome. That's incredible. Your intuition is on point when it comes to home family foundation ancestors. Neptune is also asking you to bring in the spiritual side of life. Incorporate that into your home in some way, shape, or form. You know, bring in crystals, rocks, sacred objects, or things that, you know, if you've been traveling, I have no doubt you've been traveling, Sag, but maybe set them up in your home. If they mean something to you, set them up in your home. Make your home sacred. This is also the aspect of making a safe, sacred space for yourself. And if you have a family, creating a safe, sacred space for them as well. So incredible energy, but I just know if you're feeling the push-pull mentality of this, like black and white, yin and yang energy, that's just Saturn and Neptune trying to figure things out, because they got to play nice in a sandbox together for at least another 2 years or 3 years until they leave this sign and move into Aries, which again is going to change the energy in a positive flowing manner directly into your house, Sagittarius. So that is something to look forward to, absolutely. Now Pluto, moving into your third house, again, another busy house, just like your Taurus house. So the third house covers off communication, technology of all kinds, vehicles or transportation or how you get around, day trips, anything to do with your community, anything to do with siblings, cousins, neighbors, your neighborhood directly. This is also the education house as well, Sag. So you could be quite easily transformed through educational pursuits, whether you go back to school or you become the elder or the teacher or the coach or the mentor or the motivational speaker, and you pass down your knowledge to other people. So that is a possibility as well. This could also have something to do with spirituality, religion, or religious figures. You will likely be transformed just through your day-to-day interactions with your community, with your neighbors. You could be deeply transformed through a neighborhood experience or a neighbor experience, or again, something to do with relatives, something to do with siblings, if you have any siblings, or transportation, or communication, or technology. So the list goes on, Sag, but the cool thing here is that Pluto is sextiling your energies. That means Pluto is going to bring opportunities to your doorstep. Now, they could come in all shapes and sizes and forms, and it'll be up to you whether to welcome these opportunities into your home or not, whether to take advantage of them or not. But I wouldn't shy away, even if they're intense or they scare you a little bit or they push you outside of your comfort zone. I'd say do it. You know, with Pluto here, this is very powerful in your third house. Like, you're going to be a powerhouse communicator once this transit has passed. But I mean, this is a 20-year transit, Sag. So this is going to be a long haul to the finish line. But all in all, very incredible, powerful transit for sure. Now, the North Node, South Node is continuing to move through Aries and Libra. So the eclipses will continue this year in those two houses. They will change signs next year, which I'll talk about that later on in the year. We have 4 eclipses this year. We have 2 in Libra starting on March 25th and October 2nd. We have an eclipse in Aries. This is happening on April the 8th. And then we have our first eclipse in Pisces, which is interesting. This is going to happen on the 17th of September. This is a sneak peek of what is in store for you, Sag, when it comes to 2025 eclipse cycle. This is a brand new eclipse cycle. And again, this is hitting an important angle of your chart. This is your career. This is your home, family, life. This is your status, your public reputation. This is also hitting the mom, dad, parental access of your life. So I'll talk about that later on in the year and also in my monthly videos as well. Venus is direct all year long, thank goodness. Mars is retrograde at the end of 2024. I'm going to talk about that later on, so nothing to worry about right now. And then the Mercury retrogrades are happening in the fire signs this year. So this will impact you directly, Sag. We just had one actually, December, January. We had a retrograde in your sign, Mercury retrograde, your sign, and in Capricorn. But in 2024, we're going to have a full-on retrograde in your sign. So that happens middle of November to middle of December. And I'll talk about that later on in the year because that seems so far away right now, but it depends on when you're watching this right now. We will have a Mercury retrograde in Aries that's happening in April. And we're going to have another Mercury retrograde happening in August. This is Virgo and Leo, so it's kind of straddling the two signs there. And then, of course, we're going to finish off 2024 with a retrograde in your sign just in time for the holiday season again. So, Sag, that about wraps it up. So I wish you a wonderful 2024 year ahead, and I'll see you back here in the monthly horoscopes. Bye for now. Hey Capricorn, welcome to your 2024 year ahead video. Keep in mind, these are very general horoscopes for the year ahead. I obviously don't have your chart in front of me. So this is going to depend on where planets, placements, points are sitting in your chart and how these planets are talking to those planets, placements, points in your personal birth chart. But what we're going to talk about is where I think the energy is going to be more concentrated and focused. And of course, your personal birth chart would add in just another layer to these energies. So let's get started in your 5th house of where Taurus is right now. We have Uranus and Jupiter in there. Uranus has been in here since 2018, Capricorn, shaking up this house of joy, having fun, pleasure, gambling, entertainment. This is the house of children. This is the house of romance and dating and self-expression. So Capricorn, kind of interesting to have Uranus in this sign. If you are single, I have no doubt you've been attracting some really interesting partners or potential partners your way, probably quite unique and different in their own sense. Also, Capricorn, this is the transit of surprise pregnancies, especially with Jupiter in here. It's like, surprise, I'm pregnant. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. If you're male, you have the capability of getting your partner pregnant, whether it's a long-term relationship or a one-night stand, Capricorn. So do keep that in mind. Continue to keep that in mind. Jupiter will be exiting this sign this year in May. Uranus is in here though until 2026. So Uranus is in here for the long haul. The incredible thing about this transit for you, Capricorn, though, is it's trining your energies. So Jupiter and Uranus at some point would be or would have been trining your ascendant, your sun, your moon, whatever you're watching for right now, which is absolutely incredible. This is harmonious energy flowing into your sign. Jupiter here, this is blessings pouring into your life from the 5th house. Now, Jupiter is going to move on into Gemini starting in May until next May, June of 2025. Jupiter in the 6th house can bring in new opportunity when it comes to work, when it comes to your work environment, work colleagues, your work place in general. Also your health, your habits, your routines, your diet, your nutrition. So this is quite a busy day-to-day house, but the nice thing is Jupiter is here to bless all of this for you, Capricorn. So, and infuse good luck, blessings. So I am hopeful that the next year, well, starting May of 2024 until May of 2025, things should go a lot smoother when it comes to this area of your life. Now, looking at your Pisces house, it's pretty packed there with Neptune and Saturn in there. Saturn moved in there last year. Neptune moved in there in 2012. So this is a bit of a push-pull mentality here, Capricorn. In your house of communication, in your house of, this is your house of community, neighborhoods, the neighborhood community you belong to. This is siblings, cousins, neighbors, extended family members, relatives. This is also the education aspect or house, one of the houses anyway. This is also about teaching, learning, anything to do with knowledge, and communicating, just communicating in general, technology. So Capricorn, Saturn in here is trying to help you crystallize something, trying to lay a firm foundation with something in your life. This is another house that's really busy, really big. So it depends on, again, your personal birth chart and what you're looking to get out of this 3rd house at this time. But Saturn is in here testing, putting in delays on purpose, like fated delays, fated hardships. Saturn is making you put in the work when it comes to 3rd house matters. Just keep in mind, anything you're working on now will bring you blessings once Saturn leaves this sign, because Saturn, after all, is your ruling planet, and Saturn is making opportunity aspects to your 1st house, to your sign, which is good news. So an educational pursuit is the easiest thing to talk about, because if you're hard at work, if you are training, if you are an apprentice at anything right now, Saturn's going to help you crystallize this foundation so you can build on it as Saturn moves along the foundation of your chart. Neptune, on the other hand, though, can be challenging because Neptune dissolves anything it touches. So Saturn is trying to help you build on a firm foundation. Neptune is coming in saying, well, let's soften the edges, let's blur the edges, let's blur the communication, let's make it a little bit, not so direct and blunt and to the point. Let's look at it with a different lens. Let's have a couple cocktails and then sit back and talk about it. So that's Neptune energy. So you can see the dramatic or the drastic, not dramatic, drastic change of these two energies, what they bring to the table. So Capricorn, there can be some frustration here for everybody, but this is falling in everyone's charts a little bit differently. So you might have this push-pull mentality. You might have this fogginess about your third house. At times you might not understand when people are talking to you, but you might not understand something. You got to get them to repeat it. And maybe you still don't understand it, or you're unclear about something, or maybe you're coming off as not very clear. You think you are, but maybe you're not, so that's the Neptune kicking in there. Now, Neptune, though, is asking Capricorns to become more compassionate, become more empathetic, bringing spirituality into your life in some way, shape, or form. Again, I listed off all the possibilities of this third house. So even if it's just bringing crystals into your workplace, or creating a sacred space in your home for an office or an altar, or a place where you can read, study, dive into books, dive into things that you love to do, whatever the case may be for you, Capricorn. That's what Neptune is asking you to do, is to incorporate that spirituality aspect in some way, shape, or form. It's not asking you to go out and be a priest. If you want to do that, absolutely. But it's just asking you to turn on the compassion, to soften your edges a little bit, because Capricorns are ruled by Saturn. We are the most responsible sign of the zodiac. So we can come off as quite cool, quite businesslike, quite work focused. That's just who we are. That's how we're built. Neptune's just asking us to just soften the edges a little bit, bring our guards down a little bit, and be open to the divine, be open to downloads, be open to meditation, open our hearts to that kind of stuff, be empathetic, donate, volunteer our time, get involved in the community, get to know your neighbors, things like that. That's what Neptune is asking us to do. Also, mending relationships with cousins, siblings, extended family members as well. Now, Pluto, the big story here, Pluto moving out of your sign and finally hopping into Aquarius, which is your second house. So Capricorn, a new area of life is going to be completely transformed. And this is a financial house for you. So this is about your day-to-day living, like from a work situation. How you earn a living is probably how I should have said that. How you earn a living, how you make money, how you earn money, how money flows to you. This is also to do with your material possessions, what you currently own right now. Are they serving you? Are they serving a higher purpose? Is it what you own right now? Is that true to who you are? Or is it a facade? Is it flashy? Do you really need 16 boats in the garage or 16 sport cars or whatever? This is Pluto's gonna be asking those hard questions, like, who are you truly? Your authentic self, Capricorn. This is also your values as well, who you are, how you earn a living, how you show up in the world. Pluto is going to continue to work on that with you and ask you hard questions and ask you to make some tough decisions as well. So this is a long transit, Capricorn. I can go on and on and on about this, but just know this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of something new. You are brand new. Do you recognize who you were in 2008 when you look in the mirror? Do you know who you are? And I don't mean that in a negative way. Because being in the first house, it would have transformed all areas of life. Work, career, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with lovers, marriage, business partnerships, work colleagues, home, family, foundation, your children, your siblings, whatever your extended family is. This would have touched every area of your life, Pluto moving through your sign. So now it's time to turn your attention to your finances and money and how you earn a living. You probably will change jobs, Capricorn. I'm calling you Pluto now. You'll probably switch jobs because you're going to find work that is authentically true to you. It's the legacy that you are leaving behind. This could also have something to do with your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, making them come true in some way, shape, or form. Also something to do with your friendship circles. People that you hang out with are probably going to change or transform in some way, shape, or form. Your role in these groups are going to change in some way, shape, or form as well, Capricorn. But we got a long way to go. 20-year transit here, 20 years. Now, the North Node and the South Node in Aries and Libra continue to truck along. That's going to be the same this year. I'll talk about it later on in the year, how the nodes are going to be moving into Pisces and Virgo. But for now, it's going to be the same old, same old. This is going to be, again, hitting big angles of your chart. Fourth house, a home, family, foundation, and your career, your reputation, your public status, your parents, authority figures, bosses in your life. Now, we're going to continue to have eclipses in these two signs this year, Capricorn. So we have 2 in Libra, the house of your career. So this is March 25th and October the 2nd. And then we have another one in your home, family, foundation status of your at the bottom of your chart, April the 8th. This is happening. And then we have our first eclipse in Pisces this year, which is really interesting, on September the 17th. This is going to be a snapshot of what is to come in 2025. Just a small breadcrumb, if you will. A small example of what is possible to come in 2025. Now, Venus does not retrograde this year. Hallelujah. So she's direct all year. Mars is going to go retrograde. We'll talk about that later on in the year because that doesn't happen till December. And then the Mercury retrogrades are happening in fire signs this year. So the first one is in Aries. That's happening in April. The second one is in Leo and Virgo. That's happening in August. The final one is in Sagittarius. And this is happening in middle of November to middle of December. So that's about it, Capricorn. I wish you a wonderful 2024 year ahead, and we'll see you back here in the monthly video horoscopes. Bye for now. Hey, Aquarius, welcome to your 2024 year ahead horoscope. So before I get started, Aquarius, just a reminder, this is a general high-level overview of the year ahead. We're just going to focus on the energies and the houses of life that are going to be lit up for you. And I don't have your personal birth chart in front of me. So again, it depends on how this energy is talking to your personal planets, points, placements. So always keep that in mind. So that's going to add another layer to the story that I'm going to talk about today. So let's start with Pluto. Let's start with Pluto because that is definitely the biggest story of the next couple decades. 20-year transit, Aquarius, through your first house. This is the house of you. This is the house of self. This is the I am house. So Aquarius, I can go on and on and on here, but this is going to completely transform your life. You know, like you're not going to recognize who you are, you know, so Fast forward 20 years from now, you're going to be like, who was that person? And look how much I've changed for the better, for your highest good. This is not a doom and gloom thing. Like, be excited. Pluto is here to transform all areas of life for your highest good. And Pluto is going to slowly work with you over the next 20 years and ask you the hard questions of, what is your true authentic self? What makes you you? What makes you unique? What makes you stand out from the crowd? What kind of home life do you want? What kind of career do you want to build? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? What do your relationships look like? What kind of relationship do you want to call in? What kind of relationship do you want right now? How do you want to transform your relationship? So I can go on and on and on here, but those are the kind of questions that Pluto will be asking you and helping you transform for your highest good. It's going to be incredible, Aquarius. It's going to be incredible. You are the star of the show here for the next 20 years. Okay, let's talk about Uranus and Jupiter down in Taurus right now. So you are being shook up at the foundation of your chart. So this is home, family, living situation. Could be your children as well, ancestors, roots. This is also the mom, dad, parental authority figures in your life as well, Aquarius. So wherever Uranus goes, Uranus shakes us up. Uranus wakes us up. Uranus is not good or bad. Uranus is your modern ruler. Your ancient ruler is Saturn. But this is your modern ruler, so Uranus is just in here to like change it up, you know. Uranus can also represent external circumstances that come into our lives, and then we have to pivot, shift, and change, again, for our highest good. Now, with Jupiter in here, I love how Jupiter smooths things over. So hopefully Jupiter has smoothed over your family life since May of last year, and then will be in this sector until May of this year. Now, Jupiter is squaring up to Aquarius while he's transiting Taurus. So there could have been disruptions in the home. There could have been changes in the home. If your IC runs through Taurus, you know, you could have moved. Hopefully an upgrade. Usually Jupiter means an upgrade, usually a bigger house, usually. Now, if you haven't found the right house yet, Aquarius, there's lots of time. You have Jupiter in here from now, January, until May. So take advantage of this energy. You might come across the perfect living situation, whatever that means for you. A condo, an apartment, a detached home, a townhouse, whatever you're looking for, whatever your heart's desire, Jupiter is going to bless you in this area of life, Aquarius. So I absolutely love this for you. Now, Jupiter is going to move on to Gemini in May of this year, and Jupiter is going to trine your energy for a whole year, Aquarius. So this is a blessing in itself. Plus, on top of it, there's going to be a new beginning here when Jupiter trines Pluto in your first house. So the fifth house is your children, your creative projects, your creative expressions. This is hobbies. This is entertainment. This is also the house of gambling. And this is the house of dating, romance. So if you're single, Aquarius, like, I'm very hopeful for you that you will find someone, especially with Jupiter transiting and blessing that fifth house. If you're looking to get pregnant, Jupiter moving through the fifth house can expand your family. So whether you adopt or you get pregnant. Now, if you're a guy watching this and you're like, oh, I'm fine. No, like, keep in mind, you could have a one-night stand and get her pregnant. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you're not ready to start a family, take those extra precautions. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, take those extra precautions. Now, on the other side, like I said, if you want to start a family, Jupiter's going to bless you here. So try for a family, absolutely, or take the necessary steps to work with a family doctor, work with a naturopathic doctor, whatever. Because if you are struggling to get pregnant, this is blessings coming in, Aquarius. So take those next steps if you really want to have your own family. And again, some of you, this is going to be like, surprise, I'm pregnant. But I can appreciate that not all of us can get pregnant like that. Okay, I can appreciate that. But again, this is blessings pouring into that house. Also, if you have a side hustle, if you want to get something off the ground, Jupiter's going to bless that. Jupiter could possibly monetize something that you're doing on the side, like a hobby, a project, a creative endeavor. The sky's the limit, Aquarius. This is an incredible year-long transit for you, so take advantage of this energy. Okay, let's see here. Pisces. Let's look at the Pisces house of your chart. You have Saturn in there, your ancient ruler. You got Neptune in there as well. This is your house of money, resources, how you earn a living, how money comes to you, usually through work, a job, a career. This is also your self-worth, and this is your current material possessions or the possibility of more future possessions. Now, this is interesting, Aquarius, being in a money house. You got Neptune here. Neptune dissolves anything it touches. And then you got Saturn here. Saturn's like, okay, let's start building cash flow. Let's start putting away money for a rainy day. Let's start putting money away in that RSP or that 401k or however you save money, in a mattress, whatever. So you might feel this push-pull mentality with money. As soon as money comes out, you might find money flows out just as fast as it comes in. You might have stints, if you're an entrepreneur, you might have stints where money comes and goes, like you're in dry spells, especially with Saturn here. Saturn's really trying to test your foundations here. Saturn is trying to make you stand on your own 2 feet. I'm not saying you don't stand on your own 2 feet, Aquarius, but Saturn will test that. So if you think you are independent and you're living on your own, and mommy and daddy is not supporting you, or your spouse or partner is not supporting you, Saturn's going to test that over the next 3 years. And I don't mean to doom and gloom that, because I know that's not for everyone out there. But just know Saturn has your back. At the end of the day, Saturn is trying to make you independent, especially in a money house. Saturn's like, hey, stop relying on that source of income from the government, from your parents, from a spouse, from alimony, from whatever source. It's time to earn your own dollars. It's time to start that business. It's time to be an entrepreneur. It's time to be a consultant or change your job. Saturn could help you change the work that you do on a day-to-day level. So this is good news, Aquarius. This is good news. And again, this is your planet, so you know how to work with Saturn, which is the good news. Now, Neptune, though, like I said, it can be disillusionment, can be foggy. Neptune wants to this is how I've been saying it to the other signs. So Saturn wants to build something on a firm foundation, say a house. And then Neptune comes along and says, well, no, let's round out the edges. Let's paint it a different color. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's look at it from a different perspective. Let's look at it through different lenses. Let's put different glasses on. Let's have a couple drinks. Let's have a couple cocktails, couple cigarettes. Then we're going to talk, So that's Neptune. That's the polarity that you're working with in that second house, which is not easy. But if you put in the hard work now, Aquarius, it's going to pay off. You just had Saturn in your sign. So Saturn, you just started a new 30-year cycle when Saturn entered your sign approximately, 4 years ago or so. So you are in a new cycle. Now it's time to clean up this area of life. That's it. You know, and then once you put in the hard work, Saturn is going to set up your finances for the test of time, the long-term haul. Yes, Jupiter is going to be there to bless you as well. But Saturn brings bigger rewards than Jupiter if you put in the hard work, Aquarius. So don't be scared of that. Don't be concerned about that. Saturn is just here to test, okay? Test the money, test the inflow and outflow of money. Everything's going to be okay as long as you continue to move forward and work for it. Now, let's see what else here. We already talked about Pluto, the North Node, the South Node, Aries, Libra, areas of your chart are going to continue to be activated this year by eclipses. So we have 2 eclipses in Libra this year. This is March 25th and October the 2nd. We have 1 eclipse in Aries this year. That is on April the 8th. And then we have our first eclipse in Pisces in that money sector again on September the 17th, which will be interesting because that's going to give you and all of us a snapshot of what is to come in 2025 when the nodes of the moon shift into Pisces and Virgo. This is going to be your financial sector, Aquarius. So this is going to be the next level of transformation when it comes to your material resources. If you ever want to build a business off your back, this is the time to do it. And 2025 is going to amp up that energy big time, like big time. And then you're going to have Jupiter trining this energy. Like, yeah, Aquarius, you have some phenomenal things to look forward to. Absolutely. And you're going to be a powerhouse. Pluto is going to make you a powerhouse. And on top of it, the eclipses are going to make you so independent. It's not even funny. Like, and bringing in the cash, which is, well, again, if you don't care about money, I can appreciate that. That's totally fine. The world doesn't revolve around money. I can appreciate that. But for those of you looking to change multiple areas of your life, it's starting right now. It's starting this year. Just be in it for the long haul. So just pace yourself, Aquarius, and you will absolutely get there. Venus does not go retrograde this year. She is direct this year, thank God. And Mars, let me see here. Mars does go retrograde at the end of 2024. We'll talk about that later on in the year. And Mercury goes retrograde in the fire signs this year. So we have our first one in Aries in April. Second one is happening in Leo and Virgo in August. And then our last one is in Sagittarius and right around the holiday season, middle of November to middle of December. So that's about it, Aquarius. Enjoy 2024. I'll be here to talk about all the monthly horoscopes every step of the way. So enjoy your year ahead, and we'll see you back here in the monthly horoscopes. Bye for now. Hey Pisces, welcome to your 2024 Year Ahead Horoscope. I just want to remind you this is a high level energy update. So your personal birth chart, how these big heavy hitters in the sky, how they're talking to your chart personally or professionally, is going to just add another layer of what we're going to talk about today. So just keep that in mind. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Let's see here. Where should we start, Pisces? Should we start with all that energy in your sign? So you have Saturn, you have Neptune in your sign, and Neptune has been here for quite some time, since 2012. And Saturn popped in here last year, early 2023, and Saturn is going to be in here for a while, 2025, 2026. So Pisces, if you've been following me for a while, I talk about this a lot. I probably say the same thing. You're going to be a powerhouse. You're going to be a powerhouse once Saturn is done with you. And same with Neptune. This is your ruler, Pisces. But I can appreciate this is not the easiest transit, having Neptune and Saturn in the same sign, let alone the same house, let alone the first house. So Pisces, let me break it down this way. How I've been explaining this energy to the other signs is, Saturn's here to build firm foundations in all areas of your life, because this is the first house. Okay, without Saturn, we couldn't stand upright. Saturn rules the bones, the structures of the body. Saturn rules the structures of houses and skyscrapers and all that fun jazz. So Saturn is here to build you the life that you want, but Saturn is asking for something in return. Saturn is asking you to bust your ass. Saturn is asking you to put in the hard work, Pisces. So, and Saturn loves that, okay? You put in the hard work, trust me, you're going to get these blessings. And Saturn is setting you up for a brand new 30-year cycle. 30-year cycle technically started for you March of 2023 when it comes to Saturn. Now, Saturn wants to, as I mentioned, wants to build something solid for you. But Neptune comes along and says, well, let's round out the corners. Let's paint it something different. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Let's dissolve this. Let's dissolve that. Now let's have a couple cocktails. Let's, have a few shots and a few cigarettes. And then let's sit down and talk about next steps. You see the difference there of the two energies? The sergeant energy compared to the artistic energy, the flowing energy, the escape energy, the dreamy energy. Quite different energies. Neptune is your modern ruler. So you are definitely aware of what Neptune and Jupiter can bring to the table. Those are your two rulers. But Saturn, you're not quite familiar with, So you will be familiar with Saturn once he gets out of your sign. But again, you're going to be a powerhouse, Pisces. So build the life you want. Create the life you want. That's the best advice I can give you. Work with Saturn. Work with Saturn. Do the hard work. And he will reward you and set you up for long-term success. Now, you have Jupiter, your ancient ruler, in Taurus, along with Uranus. Uranus has been in this house since 2018. Jupiter has been in this house since last May. And Jupiter will continue to truck along. Jupiter's going to move into Gemini this May for you. Uranus is not moving out of here until, 2016. So you have a little while longer for Uranus, but Uranus being, the third house, let me back up here. The third house is quite a busy, hectic house. The third house is an educational house. So it could be teaching, going back to school, finishing up school, you becoming the teacher, the elder, the coach, the mentor. You could be passing down your wisdom and knowledge to other people. With Uranus in here, you could be channeling. You could be getting some really incredible downloads beyond what you can comprehend right now. Accept those downloads. Take in those downloads. This is like Albert Einstein here, accepting in these downloads. This is also the house of transportation, how you get around. This is also traveling. More so short distance. It could be long distance as well, but short distance traveling. This is also your community where you put down roots, your neighbors, your neighborhood. This is also the house of siblings, cousins, neighbors, extended family members, relatives. And this is also communication, how you communicate with other people. This is also the internet and technology. So Jupiter is in here expanding this house for you, giving you blessings in this area of life. If you ever need to buy a vehicle, Pisces, I'd recommend to look into that between now and May, because the vehicle that you pick will last. You will have good luck with it. It probably won't be a lemon. I mean, don't go pick a car blindly. I mean, do your research, but Jupiter will help you in the transportation sector and how you get around. You know, if you bike to work or whatever the case may be, get a new bike. If you need a new bike, I'm not saying go out and buy a new bike just to get a new bike, but if you need a new mode of transportation, I'm saying this is the time to do it. This is the time to move forward with it, because you will find the right deal, the best deal, a good deal, and it's going to last for a long time, whatever it is that you buy. Now, Uranus in here, like I said, has been shaking you out of your comfort zone when it comes to how you communicate. And also your relationships with your neighbors or neighborhoods could have been quite strange, dare I say, the last few years. Same with your relationships with any siblings, cousins, neighbors. Might have been kind of strange or out of the ordinary, or maybe they have gone through a lot of change and then that somehow reflects or impacts you, I should say. That is a possibility here with Uranus transiting that third house. But Uranus is definitely changing how you communicate, absolutely. And then Jupiter in here is helping you with whatever it is that you're trying to do, such as an educational pursuit or reaching a wider audience, for example. Now, Jupiter is going to move into your fourth house, Pisces, this year. Now, this is squaring your energy, nothing to be scared about. It just means there needs to be some readjustments in the home, family, living situation, basically. If you ever wanted to move, Pisces, this will be the time to move. Absolutely. Jupiter is going to bless you. Hopefully it'll be an upgrade, so you'll move to a bigger house or a bigger apartment or a bigger condo or whatever your living situation is. Jupiter can also expand your family at this time. So maybe you have people moving in with you. Maybe you're moving in with a partner. Maybe a partner is moving in with you. Maybe you're working from home. Maybe you're taking your work home a lot more. Maybe you have clients that come to your home at this time. So there is a readjustment period here, Pisces, that you have to make at home. At the end of the day, Jupiter is the planet of blessings. So like I said, if you ever wanted to move or renovate your home, now is the time to start thinking about it. And then once Jupiter pops into Gemini, then you can start acting on these sorts of things. And again, Jupiter is going to attract blessings into your life to help you with this transition when it comes to home, family, foundation. And again, this might bring in changes with your career, because Jupiter rules not only your sign, but Sagittarius as well. And Sagittarius occupies your 10th house of career, status, public reputation. This is also mom, dad, authority figures in your life at this time. You actually could have a parent moving in with you, or you could be moving in with a parent to help them out. That could be a possibility as well. But regardless, excuse me, regardless, the changes that are coming down the pipe could also impact your career. But again, this is Jupiter. This is not Saturn. This isn't Pluto. This is Jupiter that's going to be helping you out with these changes. And Jupiter ultimately is your ancient ruler. Speaking of Pluto, Pluto will be moving into a quiet house for you. This is the 12th house of spirituality, closing out karmic cycles, preparing for the next cycle. So for example, when Pluto moves into your sign. But this is a 20-year transit, Pisces. So nothing is going to happen overnight. Naturally, when I'm just looking at this, you know, in the chart, this is pretty quiet. I would normally say, okay, I don't know if you're going to feel this. This is deep psychological healing. This is regeneration. This is changing your totally changing your mindset when it comes to, again, healing, spirituality, travel, religion, immigration, citizenship, long distance traveling, or anything to do with overseas, the legal system, higher education, teaching. So all of that's possible with Pluto moving through the 12th house. But this is where I would need to see the rest of your chart to see if Pluto is making any aspects to anything else in your chart. That's going to add another layer to this transformation that's going to play out in your life over the next 20 years. 20 years. So lots of time here, Pisces. I think your focus is definitely going to be on working with Saturn and Neptune. I think that more so is the focus for you, because Pluto will do its thing in the background. Pluto will be Pluto. Pluto is that hum that's humming away in the background, working on your subconscious mind, or your spirituality, things like that. Okay, what else here? The North Node continues to move through Aries and the South Node in Libra. That's going to continue this year. We're going to continue to have eclipses along your financial axis here. So we have 4 eclipses this year, 2 in Libra. The first one is March 25th. The next one is October the 2nd. And then we have one in Aries. This is happening on April the 8th. And then we have our first eclipse in your sign, Pisces, on September the 17th. I'll make a separate video about this. This is going to be huge for you. This is more change coming down the pipe for you. And this will impact you personally, professionally, home life, and also your relationship sector. So we'll talk about that later on. But anything that happens in September, October is just going to give you a flavor of what changes are coming down the pipe for you, what possibilities are coming down the pipe for you in 2025. So I will talk about that later on, and I'll make a separate video about that. Venus does not go retrograde this year. Hallelujah. Venus is direct all year long. Mars does go retrograde, but not until the end of the year. I'll talk about that later on in the year. And the Mercury retrogrades are happening in the fire elements this year, the fire signs. So our first one is in Aries, that's in April. Second one is in August, that is happening in Virgo and Leo. And the last one is happening in Sagittarius, that's happening middle of November to middle of December. And again, I'll talk about it as we move through the months. So that is about it, Pisces. So I hope you enjoy your 2024 year ahead, and we'll see you back here in the monthly video horoscopes. Bye for now.